will you do when an emergency comes up? When you need some money fast? If you'll take my advice, you'll be prepared. Start today to buy United States savings bonds through the payroll savings plan. That's the easy, the automatic plan that provides income for your future and cash when you need it. Just ask your employer to save a few dollars from each paycheck. You won't even miss them. When enough money is accumulated, he'll buy your savings bonds for you regularly. That's all there is to it. And when those bonds mature, you'll get back $4 for every $3 you put in. So sign up for the payroll savings plan where you work, or the bond-a-month plan where you bank. You'll feel more secure tomorrow if you buy United States savings bonds today.
The mail just came, Molly. I brought it in.
Good. Anything interesting for change?
Looks like about the usual crop. Bill from Kramer's drugstore, second notice from the gas company, third notice from the light company. Here's the red envelope. Final warning from the water company.
Come in. Welcome. I am E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the world of terrifying imagination. Our story deals with fate. Some call it luck. Whatever it is, it works in the strangest ways to reward us or defeat us. Fate walked into Charles Powell's life in the person of Clint Livitz.
Look, Clint, or whatever your name is, I don't like you, and I don't like your insinuations. Now, if you don't get out of my office and leave these premises immediately, I'll have you put out.
You must be putting on an act, Mr. Charles Powell. Maybe this will jolt your memory. 3541063.
What?
Yeah. I thought that would do it, Charlie. I thought that might help you remember.
Our mystery drama, No Hiding Place, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sidney Sloan and stars Larry Haynes. It is sponsored in part by the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
And now another tale of the ball and chain. At Kellogg's Special K
Presents Overweight on an Overnight Train.
Is this tea taken?
Please, sit down. You have exceptional legs. But why is one of them attached to a ball and chain?
This ball and chain? It's a symbol.
Funny, I would have sworn it was a ball and chain.
I mean symbolic. Because carrying around a few extra pounds can be just like lugging around this ball and chain.
I see. May I suggest something?
Uh-huh.
Try a bowl of Special K, skim milk, orange juice, and coffee. It's the Special K breakfast.
Will it make you lose weight?
No.
Oh.
You must also exercise and eat smart at every meal.
I see.
Do you know the Special K breakfast is less than 240 calories, 99% fat-free, and delicious?
No, but if you hummus your bar, and that's another tale of the ball and chain.
Your happy ending could begin with the Kellogg's Special K breakfast.
At Kellogg's Special K. Good night.
Well, it's all right to tell one lie, isn't it?
You can't.
Then how about lying just a little bit?
Not a little bit.
You mean you can never lie?
Never.
Well, why not?
Because when you tell a lie,
Yeah?
it gets stuck inside your heart.
You mean that just one lie will make your heart dark?
It makes you sad, too.
Oh, then what should you do if you tell a lie?
Well, you just say sorry.
And then what?
Then the light goes inside your heart.
Oh, the light goes on?
Yeah.
Oh, the light doesn't really go on in your heart, does it?
Yes, it does.
Well, how do you know?
Because the light in your heart is shining in your eyes.
Oh.
And then you'll be happy.
I wonder why people tell lies.
I wonder why, too.
San Franciscan, with love.
out there. At 37, executive vice president of one of the largest manufacturers of heavy construction equipment in the country. And he had done it all in less than 12 years. It was a real-life Horatio Alger story, even to his being engaged to J.P. McCready's daughter, Alice. How could anything go wrong? But it did, the moment he walked into his private office.
Yes, I'll be.
There's someone to see you.
Appointment?
No, sir, but he says that you'll see him. Mr. Cole, maybe I'd better come in and explain.
Yes, all right, come in.
Sorry if I sound strange, but really, Mr. Powell, that man is kind of frightening.
Frightening?
Well, he just sits there and grins at me. I told him he didn't see people without an appointment. He said, oh, he'll see me. Just tell him it's an old friend, Clint. You know anybody by that name?
No, it doesn't ring a bell. All right, send him in. I'll do it.
Okay. Don't say I didn't warn you. Mr. Powell will see you.
Nice of you to see me, Mr. Powell.
Well, I try to see everybody, Mr.
Judge, I don't think you ever knew me by anything but Quint. You must remember, Mr. Powell.
Well, I'm sorry, but I
Come
don't...
on, give it a try. Give it a good try.
Now, look here, I'm busy, and I have neither the time nor the patience.
You must be putting on an act, Mr. Charles Powell. Maybe this will jolt your memory. 3541063.
What?
Yeah. I thought that would do it, Charlie. I thought that might help you remember.
Charles? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. McCready. I guess I was daydreaming.
Something bothering you, young man?
Oh, no.
I hope not. Here I take you to the best French restaurant in town. You pick at your food, gaze into space, send your dinner away half its touch.
Oh, did I, send all that good food back without eating it?
You did? I particularly wanted to see you alone, Charles, because, I have a little news for you.
News? What kind of news, Mr. McCready?
And that's another thing. You're so damn formal with Mr. McCready. Do you realize that in exactly 5 weeks you're going to be one of the family?
Yes, of course I realize. How could I overlook it when Allison keeps reminding me regularly?
Very well, then. Do you think it proper to call your father-in-law to be Mr. McCready? If you don't start calling me John...
Okay. John, it'll be.
I'm going to leak a little information to you.
Yes?
As you know, I've been thinking of stepping down from the presidency of the company.
Yes, well, it has been rumored, but I wish you'd reconsider. Now, sincerely, the place wouldn't be the same without you.
Oh, I'll still be there, Charlie. I'm not giving up my stock. The name of the company will still be J.P. McCready Company. The only difference will be that you will be sitting at my desk.
Sitting at your desk? Well, I thought Hedges was slated to take over when you stepped down.
No. Well, Tom was seriously considered, but he's a bit too old for the job. No, the company needs young blood.
Well, I'm really bowled over.
I've watched you grow. Come up on merit, ability. You're going to go far, my boy. Of course, the board will have to vote on your appointment, but that, as the saying goes, is in the bag.
Well, there's something you've omitted, John. You haven't asked me if I wanted the job.
Is it necessary to ask? I remember another lunch with you several years ago. We got talking about ambitions, and you said that you would never be satisfied with second best. It had to be the top job, or you'd move on.
Yes. But that was before this morning.
Hmm? What?
Nothing. Just mumbling.
I'd like to know how you feel about it, Charles.
Well, even to be considered for the position is an honor, Miss, John.
And your answer?
Let me think it over. I must think it over.
Trying to collect your life insurance, Charles?
what?
I'm too afraid you're driving. You'll have to get me, yourself, or both of us.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I guess I didn't realize how fast I was going. This car has more power than it needs.
More than I need.
I'm sorry.
At least it gave us a topic for conversation.
What did?
You're driving. Darling, I'm the girl you asked to marry you. Something is troubling you, something big.
Allison, did your father tell you what he's planning?
Dad never tells me anything. I have an idea he thinks of me as a bird friend.
He wants me to take over the presidency of the company.
That's marvelous. Couldn't have made a better choice.
Look, you're prejudiced.
But it's a nice kind of prejudice.
I don't think I'll accept.
What? But, darling, it's right for you. You've worked toward that goal. You're the right man for the job.
Am I?
What is this? Lack of confidence, knock fever? You're being ridiculous, darling.
No, I'm being practical and sensible. My being president of the McCready Company would bring nothing but trouble.
What are you saying?
I'm even considering resigning my present job.
Why?
Allison.
Tell me. Whatever it is, I'll never stop loving you.
I'll tell you. When I get up enough courage. Please, darling, be patient with me. Just be patient. I love you, too.
So you finally got here. Thought you were going to forget our appointment.
You didn't really think that, Clint.
No, I knew you'd come. You wouldn't dare not to come. Sit. You got it with you?
Yes, I've got it.
Small bills.
5s, 10s, as specified.
Let's have it.
Here.
Pretty manila envelope, too. Nice and neat. Nice.
Now, look, I don't know how much longer I can do this.
You'll do it as long as I say.
And if I run out of money?
You'll just have to scrounge around and find more.
Well, I'm thinking of quitting my job.
You wouldn't want to do that, Charlie.
Well, suppose it gets too much for me and I say, go ahead, spill what you know.
No, you wouldn't do that. You're gonna marry a very rich girl. A couple of extra yards ain't gonna change your manner of living. Even a couple extra grand.
How long are you gonna suck my blood?
I don't like the way you put that, Charlie. I'd rather you'd think of it like it was sort of, sharing the wealth. You got the bread, I got nothing. This way, we both got something. I got a nice living, and you've got your freedom.
Hello?
Charles?
Oh, yes, Mr. Yes, John.
Sorry to bother you at this hour. You weren't asleep, were you?
At 10:15, no.
The reason I'm calling
Yes.
is something bothering you, my boy.
Well, I've had some things on my mind lately. I'm sorry it was so noticeable.
It occurred to me that a young man gets a bit absent-minded as the day of his wedding approaches. Perhaps a bit frightened.
No, it isn't that, J.P. Oh, excuse me, John. Someone's at my door. Hold on. Just a moment.
Forgive me for coming here.
I've got your father on the phone. Come in, darling. Hello, John. It was just the porter with a package. What were you saying?
Oh, nothing really. I'm just concerned. Whatever's troubling you can be taken care of. I'm backing you all the way.
Well, I appreciate your feelings, J.P., but there really is no cause for concern. I'll snap out of this in a day or so.
Good. It's reassuring to hear you say that. Now, forgive me for disturbing you.
No, I wasn't disturbed. Thanks for calling.
Good night.
Good night, J.P.
Even Dad notices that something is wrong.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in 3 days. You trying to tell me something?
All I want to tell you is that I love you very much.
From a distance. I called you at your office twice this afternoon.
Allison, I can't keep this from you. I thought I could, but every day, every hour, it grows bigger. Until now, it feels as though it's going to engulf me. And you are life, everything that has meaning for me.
Darling.
No, hear me out. And then if you want to go out that door quietly, I won't say anything more, and you can forget that you've ever known me.
Love you? Are you trying to say you don't want to marry me? to stop loving me?
Darling, it's because I love you that I'm going to tell you. I considered keeping the whole matter from you, writing out the trouble and probably overcoming it.
Darling, how little you know me. No matter what the trouble is, I want to be with you. If you want me.
Allison, I'm a fraud.
What?
I'm not. Charles Powell, it's a name I assumed to hide my real identity. Want me to go on?
Yes, darling. Go on.
At the age of 22, I was charged and convicted of murder and sent to San Quentin for life. I was innocent. Evidence, circumstantial evidence. Court-appointed attorney who didn't know what to do or didn't care. A weak effort to appeal, which was refused, and there I was, at 22, in prison for life. Chance of a parole only after serving 20 years. I'd be old, all my young life confined in prison. So, when I had a chance to get out,
You escaped.
and ran for 2 years. Do you know what it means to be hunted? You can't get a job, you have no place to live, you can't ever sleep for fear someone will see you and turn you in.
Oh, darling.
I was ready to give myself up when I suddenly discovered that it wasn't necessary to run any longer. I picked up a 2-week-old newspaper and read a report of my death.
What?
Yes, a man had been burned to death in a flophouse fire. The only thing he had on him was something that I had kept, my only possession. A locket belonging to my mother. It had a picture of her, taken when she married my father. And it had been stolen from me as I lay asleep in a freight car. I guess the thief thought it was gold. It was just cheap gold plate.
And the man was identified as you?
My mother and father's names were inscribed on the back. The man was so badly burned that the locket was the only thing that could possibly identify him. And after 2 years of hunting, the authorities were glad to close the file on Robert Hagen.
Robert Hagen. Sounds so strange. The name doesn't fit her.
It sounds strange to me, too, now. Darling, I'm innocent. I never did it. It was all a mistake.
I don't doubt that for an instant, dearest. I only wish you'd never told me.
I had to tell you. You see, someone knows who I am. He's blackmailing me.
When you're being blackmailed, you don't have many alternatives. Charles Powell's whole life, his future, the happiness of the woman he loves, all hang by a very thin, flimsy thread. I'll be back shortly with Act 2.
I'm Hy Brown, producer of Radio Mystery Theater. And as you may imagine, I'm excited about this new adventure in modern radio. This new statement of radio's marvelous power to stir the imagination. Now, we're wondering about your reaction, about who you are and how you like what we're doing. So to encourage you to get in touch with us, we're holding a drawing for 3 weeks. 50 prizes a week, 2 AM/FM stereophonos, 2 travel clock radios, and 46 anthologies of modern suspense. Just mail us your name and address, and you're eligible. Of course, we'd like knowing whether your glad radio drama is back, but name and address will do it. To Mystery Theater, Box 50, Radio City Station, New York, 119. That's Box 50, Radio City Station, New York, 119. All for good everywhere, unless locally prohibited.
It's always a pleasure to add beautiful new furniture to your home. And it's even more a pleasure when you can save substantially on its purchase. You can do both this week at Adele Hunt's 7015 Snyder Plaza during Adele Hunt's great winter furniture clearance sale. Take advantage of Adele Hunt's staff of professional interior designers at no extra cost, of course, and save on such famous brands as Henrietta, Drexel, Thomasville, Lazy Boy, and many others. For instance, there are exciting accent pieces on sale from Fakers, Tomlinson, and Herwood Lambert. The hundreds of fine values in bedroom, dining room, living room, and occasional furniture may not be equaled again. Even a large selected group of lamps and pictures are as much as 60% off the regular price. So shop early while selections are good during Adele Hunt's great winter sale. Adele Hunt, 7015 Snyder Plaza, near the corner of Lovers Lane and Hillcrest in University Park, where Dallas buys with confidence. Open tonight till 9 p.m.
When Charles Powell chose to give in to his blackmailer, he didn't envision the trouble that was building up for him. Just keep paying and I'll keep my mouth shut, his blackmailer assured him. But then something happened that threatened to destroy Charles' fragile security.
Yes, Elsie.
Mr. Hamill is here to see you.
George Hamill? Well, we're not playing tennis until tomorrow.
I know that, Charlie. I've got something else to talk about. Business.
Business? Yours or mine?
Mine. But it concerns you.
Okay, come in, George.
Sorry to barge in on you. I know you're busy.
Well, I'm never too busy to see George Hamill, rising young district attorney and next governor of the state.
Your humor creaks, Charlie. Seriously, I've got something that sort of disturbs me.
Oh? What does?
Well, last night in a bar over on the west side, a man was bashed over the head with a bottle. He's in serious condition.
Well, what has that got to do with me?
Well, the man who did the bashing, an ex-con by the name of Clinton Livitz,
Yes?
he's asking for you. Says you'll go as bail. Now, what I want to know is, how does a guy like you get mixed up with a Joe like that?
George, what did you think? That he and I were buddies or something?
I didn't know what to think.
Well, I do know the man. He applied for a job with the company a week or so ago. The foreman who interviewed him discovered he was an ex-con, and he refused to hire him. It was brought to my attention when one of the societies that helps ex-cons called me.
So you got him a job in the plant?
No, I couldn't. I mean, I wouldn't go over the head of the foreman, but I did see him, and I handed him a couple of dollars.
A couple of dollars? You know how much money he had on him when we brought him in? $276.
Oh, well, maybe he got lucky at the races with the money I gave him.
How much was it?
Oh, gee, I don't remember. 15, 20. I just took it out of my pocket and handed it to him. It was a way of easing my conscience. I felt bad about the way our foreman had treated him.
Well, take my word for it. This Clint Livitz is a bad customer. Stay away from him.
What will become of him?
Or he'll go back to the pen where he belongs.
Well, what's the bail set at?
$5,000. And you're not seriously considering putting it up, are you?
No, I was just asking.
Because if you are, that's the last you'll see of your money. For that matter, Mr. Livitz, he'll jump bail.
Please, George, I'm a big boy now, and I think I can make my own decision.
Wow. Who would have thought it? Charles Powell Bleeding Heart.
Now, look, we've been friends for over 5 years. When you were running for DA, I backed you with substantial contributions. I like you. You're my friend. Now, let's not kick that all out because of some stupid disagreement.
No. Let's not kick it out. I'm sorry, Charlie. But I just can't understand what your connection with that ex-con is. Now, Mr. Powell, I hope you'll understand. I accept Clinton Livitz's case with strong reservations.
Yes, I understand, Mr.
As an
Hargrave.
attorney, well, how shall I put it?
You don't like your client.
Exactly. However, I shall do my best to get him off, or at least get him a light sentence. I'm extremely pessimistic about Mr. Livitz even showing up for trial.
Yes. George Hamill also said he expected that Livitz would jump his bail.
And you would forfeit $5,000.
Yes, I know.
And that doesn't disturb you?
No, I don't believe he'll run.
I see. You want to speak with him? He's been released. He's waiting in the other office.
Not particularly.
He says he wants to see you.
Oh. Well, in that case, yes, I'll see him.
To send Mr. Livitz in. I'll leave you alone. If you need me, I'll be in the other office. Now, come in, Mr. Livitz. Mr. Powell will speak to you. Thanks. I'll be back when you call. Just flip the switch on the intercom.
Yes, I will. You sure know how to complicate things, Clint.
Story of my life.
Do you realize you could go up for 1 to 5 years for what you've done?
No, couldn't happen.
What do you mean it couldn't happen?
Because you wouldn't let it happen, Charlie.
Look, even with the best lawyer defending you, he can't guarantee he'll win the case.
You won't let me go to prison, Charlie.
I'm doing my best for you, but...
No buts. I'm not going back to the pen.
Okay. Okay, you're not going back. Now just suppose, during the trial, if things look bad...
Yeah?
We get you out of town and let you run for it, forfeit your bail.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? I'd be out of your hair, and all it would cost you would be the 5 G's for the bail.
No. I'd give you a substantial sum.
Oh, Mr. Powell. No sale. I'm too old to run.
Well, suppose I got you out of the country.
With a good hunk of bread stashed away for me.
Swiss bank account.
I don't know. Why don't we, play it by ear?
Come in.
You, wanted to see me, J.P.?
Yes. Can you spare a minute?
Yeah, sure.
I've heard it on the grapevine that you, how shall I put it? That you were aiding some ex-convict in trouble with the police. That's true.
Yes, it's true, John, and I think I know what kind of grapes grow on that grapevine.
All right. Now, George Hamill.
Oh, that damn busybody. Why can't he stick to his job and...
Now, George is a friend. He tells me that the man you're, protecting is a rather reprehensible character.
Will you let me explain? It's just a matter of policy, my helping this man.
Policy?
Well, yes, you did ask me a few days ago to consider taking over the job of running this company.
You're going to accept?
Well, I was going to tell you today.
Wonderful. Wonderful news. Allison will be delighted. I know she's been worried about your seeming reluctance.
Oh, no, not reluctant any longer. In fact, I've got all sorts of ideas about what I want to do. This business of giving a hand to ex-convicts is just one of them. Do you realize what this would mean in publicity for the company? To take an interest in the rehabilitation of men who would otherwise be lost, a burden to the taxpayer? I'm going to hire a PR man. We're going to be the big corporation with a heart, J.P. Lies, and more lies. How can I keep all these phony stories straight, Allison? It's like a long, dark tunnel with no ending.
It will, and it will all turn out all right. Don't lose your courage. No, I love you and need you. We'll worry this out together.
You know what I've considered?
What?
Going to the authorities and saying, look, I'm Robert Hagan, the man you think died 13 years ago.
No, darling, they throw you back into prison.
Well, I'd hire the best lawyer.
No, John, no. Please don't take such a chance. What would I do without you?
Darling, I don't know how much longer I can stand this pressure. I've got to do something to free myself.
Why not give him a lot of money and ask him to go away? Promise to stay away forever.
In Hargrave's office, I suggested that he jump bail and get out of the country.
What did he say?
Well, when I mentioned a big sum, I didn't exactly say how much. A Swiss bank account. He was interested.
Did he say he would accept?
Well, we were interrupted, and he didn't say definitely.
Offer him anything. Just get him to go.
Well, how would I get a large sum of money together? I have some small investments, a fair bank account, but what he might want would be beyond me.
You forget you're marrying a very rich girl.
Oh, no, I wouldn't think of that.
Don't give me that male ego business. I've got money. Dad was nice enough to give me a big hunk when I was 21.
Now, look, Allison.
With all my earthly goods, I thee endow.
We're not married yet.
You're not going to back out now, not after I've endowed you with all my earthly... Or is it worldly goods?
You are the nuttiest woman I've ever known.
See, I've got you laughing. Darling, all our troubles are going to evaporate, vanish.
No. It won't work, Allison. It'll never work.
But you said...
No. Clint Livitz will never stick to any bargain. He'll want more, and he'll want more. He'll never be satisfied.
If we got him out of the country.
What's to keep him from coming back when he's broke or even threatening us from abroad? I gave him $1,000 in cash only a few days ago. When he was picked up in the bar, he had only about $270-some left. In a matter of 2 days. He'd squandered over $700.
But if he were made to understand that the sum agreed on was all he was going to get.
Can't I make you understand? We're not dealing with a rational, honest man. He'll agree to anything. And then when his money runs out or he decides he wants more, he'll be right back.
What can you do?
There are only two things one can do about a blackmailer. Keep on paying and paying forever.
And the other?
And the other? Kill him.
Just two ways to deal with a blackmailer. Charles now must face his conscience. The thought that has been in the hidden recesses of his mind has been spoken aloud. We will be back shortly with Act 3.
When you say bud, you said a lot of things nobody else can say, yeah. When you say bud, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best.
Think about it and decide for yourself. Well, sure, the Budweiser people really do believe that brewing beer right does make a difference. But even that's up to you.
Because the king of beer is leading all the rest. When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
And Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Who knows how to help you solve your shopping problems? The Better Business Bureau knows.
Honey, the TV set just won't work. Who do I take it to? The lady down the street took hers into a place that charged her more than her set was worth.
Gosh, I don't know. I'll tell you what to do, folks.
Who are you?
I'm the man from your Better Business Bureau. Now, before you take your set in for repairs, shop around and check into a firm's reputation. You know, that's even more important than the price. Friends and neighbors can help, or you can ask for a few names of previous customers to find out if they were satisfied. And since the amount you pay will vary from one place to another, it's up to you to find out in advance what a service will cost if you have it fixed at home. Just another consumer tip from your Better Business Bureau.
Charles Powell's life has reached a climax. He must make a decision to rid himself forever of his blackmailer. And perhaps that very decision will destroy his life and the life of the woman he loves. The alternative is to keep paying and paying, never feeling safe.
Oh, Allison, I was,
You were expecting him, weren't you?
Yes.
I gathered as much when I called you at the office this afternoon. Aren't you going to ask me in?
Yeah, come in.
You were so evasive.
Well, he, wanted to see me this evening. He, wants more money.
And you're going to give it to him?
Well, I haven't many choices, have I?
You mentioned one.
No, Allison, I'm sorry I let that slip out. I didn't mean it. I couldn't go through with that if I wanted to.
I could.
What? Honey, you don't know what you're saying.
I know very well what I'm saying. How long do you think you can keep this business hidden?
Well, I don't know. Maybe forever. Look, he's not a young man. All those years in prison, the kind of life he's led. How many years do you think he has left? He could die tomorrow.
He could do something tomorrow that would expose the whole game, and then where would we be? No, Charles, I love you. I want us to marry and live a good, peaceful life. How can we with all that hanging over us?
Oh, Allison, darling, you don't really know what you're suggesting. Look, maybe if we could get him to leave the country.
You said there were only two ways to deal with a blackmailer. To keep paying?
No, to murder him is unthinkable.
George Hamill asked me to stop by at his office this afternoon.
Why?
He's not stupid. story you gave my father about helping ex-convicts as a public relations stunt didn't wash with him. He wanted to know what I know.
Well, he was just fishing.
The best way would be to make it look like an accident.
Allison, we...
Hear me out. A car accident.
How? If I cracked up with Clint in the car, I might be the one who gets it. And what guarantee do we have that he would die?
No, you can't be in the same car. If he were in another car and you were following him, and if you raced ahead of him and cut him off and forced him to crash off the road...
Oh, if. It's too iffy. It's so impossible. It's so dreamlike.
It was a dream. Last night I dreamt you were in a car with me. We saw Clint up ahead of us. I said, there's Clint ahead of us. Cut him off and make him crash. Faster, faster. We'd nearly caught him. Now run alongside him. Push him over. Cut in front of him. Then I woke up. I was calling out. I was afraid someone had hurt.
Oh, my darling.
It was all so real.
Oh, that's Clint now. Honey, you go out the back door. I'll phone you later.
I'm going to stay and meet him.
No.
I'm staying. I've got something to say to him.
He won't like your being here.
Well, it sure took long enough. What's the idea, Powell?
This is my fiancée, Allison McCready.
What's she doing here?
Will you come in and stop being childish?
I ain't saying a thing. You got nothing on me. And remember, Mr. Powell, you got a lot more to lose than I have.
I'm not going to lose anything, Mr. Livitz. You're going to gain by my being here.
Yeah?
Mr. Powell has told me his story, and I agree that it must not get out.
Go on.
I've a lot more money than... Let me put it this way. Charles and I are going to be married. We want you to leave the country.
I bet you do.
Look, Clint, you'll do better by accepting our proposition.
We intend to hand you $50,000.
And an airplane ticket. One way.
And never come back.
And never come back.
Well, I always wanted to travel, but...
What?
50 G's. Just chicken feed.
Well, that's all there is.
Not enough. I'm thinking around $250,000.
Out of the question. I'm not going to bargain with you. I can raise $100,000.
No, Allison.
It's worth it, Charles, if we can depend on Clint to wipe the whole matter out of his memory and just go away.
Oh, you can depend on me. I'll keep my bargain.
Then it's a deal?
A deal.
Good. It'll take about 10 days to raise the money.
I ain't in a hurry. You are. And, speaking of money, that was the reason I came tonight, Charlie.
Yeah, here. That's $500.
What? You said a G like the last.
That's all I could raise in a hurry. When that runs out, I'll have more. You went through that first 1,000 awfully fast.
Well, I got rolled in that bar where I had the trouble.
Oh, that reminds me. Your trial comes up in less than 3 weeks.
Yeah. Lawyer called me at my hotel. To see if I was still around, I guess.
Our plan is for you to jump your bail.
I'll forfeit the $5,000 I put up for it.
And get you out of the country.
With a keister full of green. Hey, wait. I ain't got a passport.
Oh, that can be arranged, Clint. Just leave that to me.
Okay, friends. You got yourself a deal.
Say, Charlie. You're going to put this meal on your expense account, I hope.
Too rich for your blood, George?
Too rich for my pocketbook.
That's JP's favorite French restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Nice to have wealthy, high-paid executives for friends. I'm a simple man. I like simple things. And I like simple answers.
Meaning?
How long are you going to cling to that cockamamie story about your helping ex-cons rehabilitate themselves?
Well, it's the McCoy, George.
That guy got something on you, Charles?
Pardon, monsieur, the telephone for you.
Oh, yes, thank you. Where is it?
It is here, monsieur. I will plug it in for you.
Thank you.
Just like the movies.
Yeah. Hello?
Charles?
Oh, yes, Allison.
I know George Hamill's with you, else he told me you were lunching with him. Listen to what I'm going to say, but don't let on to George.
Yes, dear. Allison says hello and to remind you that in 2.5 weeks she wants to see you at the church promptly at 11.
I'll try to remember.
Okay. He's all set, darling. Now, what's so important?
It's got to be tonight. I'll have the house all to myself.
Why is the color scheme so important?
The housekeeper and her husband are going into town
14-year-old son in the high school play.
Well, I don't see that that's such a problem. Choose whatever color will make the bridesmaids happy.
Rent a car and let Clint take it to drive out and be here promptly at 9. Do not come together. You come out in your own car, but first report it broken down. Have it picked up tomorrow morning. You bring it back after it's all over. Understand? We did not see each other. You couldn't get here because your car was out of order.
Oh, yes, I follow, dear. I follow. I'm not sure I agree.
I have a .22 target pistol. I know how to use it.
Yes, I know you have to ask him to come, dear, but then what do we do with the unwelcome guest?
There's a spot about 100 yards behind the house. We get him out there in a wheelbarrow. There's a hole, an old cesspool. We drop him in. Quick run. Gardener's got several bags.
But, suppose the gardener wants to supply some flowers for it.
It's gone over a year fired. We didn't fire one after that. As soon as it's all over, we'll take the rental car and dump it over the edge of the road near town. You know that bad place where there's no shoulder on the road and only a flimsy guardrail?
Yes, I know.
We dump the car there. Let it smash up. If it catches fire, so much the better. Then you take me back to the house and rush back to the city. Report the rental car stolen. You've been in your apartment all evening. Understand?
Yes, the color scheme suits me fine, dear. You sure have it all planned. No bobbles, no slip-ups.
All planned.
Yes, I'll be in my office till late tonight, 9 at least, if you want to reach me.
Good. That was for George's ears, wasn't it?
Yes, that's correct, Allison. Now, look, I have a report to get out. If you've completed your instructions, I'll get back to my lunch with George. Goodbye, dear.
Wow. That's only the beginning, Charlie. Wait till she gets you signed on the dotted line.
Mr. Powell, something terrible's happened.
What is it, Elsie?
There's been a terrible accident on the late shift. Man's caught in a machine. It's the big press, they said.
Oh, good Lord. Has the hospital been called?
I don't know.
Well, call them on your phone. I've got to use this one.
Yes, sir. I'll call.
And then call down to the plant. Tell them I'm coming down. If it's what I think it is, the machine will have to be partially dismantled.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Allison, listen, there's a change of plans.
Charles, where are you?
I'm still at the office. Something's...
It's 8:30. He'll be here at 9.
Yes, I know. He has the rental car. I got it for him.
When will you be here?
Well, there's been a bad accident on the night shift. A man's caught in the big metal press. I've got to help get him out.
But us? What about us?
Well, when he comes, stall him. Just tell him what happened, why I'm delayed.
I haven't got the money, Charles.
Tell him I'm bringing the money, the airplane ticket, and the passport. Just stall him.
I'll do my best, but hurry. He scares me.
Allison, open up! Clint! Clint, don't leave! Clint, wait! Will you wait? I'm here! Clint! Clint! I gotta stop him. I gotta catch him. Stop. I'll run you off the road.
Force him over. Force him over. You've cut him off. You've done it.
Crashed and burning. Let him burn. Is this, Arrow Car Rental Service? Well, I rented a car from you people this morning. No. No, there's nothing wrong with the car. I just want to report it stolen. foreign car service? Look, I asked for my car to be picked up in my driveway. It's still here, and I called, or rather, my secretary called at 10 this morning. My name is Charles Powell. Come on. Let me answer the phone. Oh. Yeah, just a moment. Oh, George. George, it's kind of late for a visit. Come in.
Thanks.
I was just trying to phone Allison. Well, what a night this has been. There was an accident at the plant. Peterson. I hope they don't have to agitate.
I heard.
Yes, and then when I got outside, I had a date with Allison. The car that I had rented this morning was missing. It was stolen.
What happened to that great, big, powerful foreign job of yours?
Oh, it wouldn't start this morning. Had Elsie call the service people, but they haven't picked it up yet. I just called them. They have a night answering service.
You've had a busy evening.
Yeah, very.
Well, I think I can clear up one of your puzzles, Charlie. Your rental car was found with a thief in it.
You, caught him?
Dead. Burned to a cinder.
Oh.
Must have been going at a terrific speed. Tire marks on the road as he went off. Cracked up and burned.
Yeah. Some kid?
No. This may surprise you. It's your protege, Clint Livitz. We found enough of him to identify him. And the slightly burnt but still usable bankroll of sizable proportions.
Well, that, closes his case, doesn't it?
And opens up several others. Incidentally, where were you all evening?
Home. After I got back from the plant.
You didn't go out?
Well, I told you my rental car got stolen. I came home by cab to change my clothes. The big car is out of commission.
I won't play games with you, Charlie. I checked it in the driveway just before I came up. The engine is still quite warm. Do you want to explain that?
No, I don't want to explain.
Charlie, I'm arresting you for murder. I must warn you that what...
George, what are you talking about? Are you accusing me of Clint Livitt's death?
No, that was obviously an accident. I'm holding you for the murder of Allison McCready, the girl you were going to marry. And in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my prosecution of Charles Powell, or Robert Hagan, has been a painful task. I was his best friend. It was difficult to believe that he would kill the woman he loved, but the evidence is conclusive. Charles killed his lovely fiancée because she discovered his real identity. An escaped convict, a killer sentenced to life for another murder. The testimony of the housekeeper, Mrs. Francis, cannot be doubted. She did not leave the house as he thought. She saw him run from the house, jump into his car, and race away. And then she discovered the body of Allison McCready shot through the head.
Your Honor, may I make a statement before you pronounce sentence? I did not kill Allison. I loved her. To say anything more in my defense is useless and unnecessary. Allison is dead. All I ask is that I be given the chance to follow her. Swiftly. And efficiently.
And so a man is twice accused of murder and twice sentenced for the crime. A weary man who asks only to be allowed to follow the woman he loved. I'll be back shortly.
Take the time to listen. Take the time to care. If I know you understand me, then my mind is yours to share. Listen with your heart. Listen with your mind. When you really listen, love is
My grandmother just died.
I'm so happy for you.
Meet Mrs. McNulty.
How do you do?
Did you know you have spinach on your teeth?
Oh, that's wonderful. This is Mr. Jackson.
Nice to meet you.
I have bubonic plague.
Oh, yes, Mr. Plague. Meet Miss...
Reception lines aren't the only places people don't listen.
When you
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons.
And there we have it. Charles Powell's joust with fate. What difference did it make that he knew that Clint had murdered Allison? They didn't believe him. And he was too weary to try to make them believe. Our cast included Larry Haynes, Ann Meacham, Jackson Beck, Sidney Walker, and Tom Keener. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Now, a preview of our next tale.
I don't understand it.
Tub's bone dry, ma'am. Hasn't been used. No, not tonight, anyway.
His clothes. Howard's clothes. He'd emptied his suitcases and put his clothes in the closet. Here's his suitcases, too.
Just ladies' clothes. Yours, ma'am?
Yes.
Hey, look, this dream you had.
It was no dream.
Okay, so maybe you imagined...
I didn't imagine anything. You imagine a husband. You imagine a month-long honeymoon. You imagine a man in a chair with a knife in his chest.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
What's the deal, baby? Welcome to Straight to the Room Part 2, hosted by DJ Michael Wise.
That bounce right here.
Along with my partner, Magnificent.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to drown myself.
Shit.
You can try this at home.
It's time for Fibber, McGee, and Molly. Sundays through Thursdays, NBC brings you Fibber, McGee, and Molly transcribed. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Ralph Goodman and directed by Max Hutto. Fibber and Molly will be with you in a minute.
This is it, L&M filters. This is it, something new. Now 2 sizes, L&M filters. You king size and regular too. This is it, L&M filters. L&M filters with the miracle tip.
No cigarette ever went so far, so fast as L&M filters. And with the new king-size L&Ms, there's no telling where they'll stop. Yes, L&Ms are sweeping the country, and the reason's simple. No filter compares with L&M's exclusive miracle tip for quality or for effectiveness. Yes, only L&M gives you effective filtration, and no other cigarette has it. Our statement of quality goes unchallenged. L&M is America's highest quality and best filter tip cigarette. For much more flavor, much less nicotine, Buy L&M's king size or regular, both at the same low price.
There's the Bontown, Molly. Right across the street.
I know. I've been there.
Watch your little foot there. Here, let me take your arm. Don't you want me to take your arm? Whiz, you're not still mad about me returning this dad-ratted sports shirt, are you, Molly?
Well, all I have to say is this is the last time Mama goes out and buys you something.
Oh, now, Molly, just because I'm returning it, that don't mean I don't appreciate it.
Some appreciation. Can't wait to get it back to the Bontown and exchange it. I thought you'd be crazy about it.
Well, I'm sorry, kiddo, but gee whiz, this shirt just isn't my type.
The salesman said it's all the rage in Hollywood. He said all the actors wear them. This exact same shirt.
Oh, he just said that to make a sale. What kind of actors wear a sports shirt with daisies all over it? Lady actors?
I told you those are not daisies on the shirt.
Well, boy, they sure look like daisies to me. Cross daisies on a background of dandelions. Here, take another look. Now, if those aren't daisies all over that shirt, what the heck are they?
I don't know. It's just some sort of pattern.
Well, they look like daisies to me, and I'm not going to wear a shirt that's got daisies all over it. It's too hot.
Too hot?
Yeah. Too hot to chase them guys in front of Kramer's drugstore that'll whistle like a tea kettle every time I walk past with this shirt on if I wore it, which I'm sorry, but I won't.
All right. Just put it back in the box. Oh, hello there, Lester.
Well, if it isn't my next-door neighbors. Hi, Miss McGee, Mr. McGee. What are you folks doing downtown?
We're returning a shirt to the Bontown, Les.
One I bought this morning, now 3 hours ago.
Oh? See, that sure is a pretty one, all right. Is that it?
Yeah, this is the one.
Well, what's wrong with it? It looks real nice to me.
There you are, McGee. What'd I tell you?
You mean you like this thing, Les? You don't see anything wrong with it?
Why, not unless it's the wrong size or something. Those are mighty pretty colors, all of them. It's not too loud, but, well, loud enough, just right.
Oh, the colors are all right. It's the pattern.
Yeah, all the girls are wearing those man-tailored shirts this year. I think you look real cute in that, Miss McGee.
Me? I look cute in it.
Well, yeah, it is yours, isn't it? I mean, isn't that what the discussion is all about? You bought yourself this shirt, and Mr. McGee thinks it's kind of loud?
All right, McGee, you win. Let's go in and take it back.
Good. Well, thanks a lot, Les. Sure glad we ran into you, boy. Well, come on, kiddo.
All right, but I still say they're not fake.
Goodbye, folks. Nice talking to you. I sure hope to get home early so I can drop over and find out what the dickens we were talking about.
Okay. Let's get over here to the exchange booth and get a refund for that shirt. And hey.
What?
They got air conditioning in here. When did the Bontown?
Oh, they just finished it last week.
Oh.
You haven't been here all summer, have you?
No. Boy, that air conditioning sure feels good. Oh, they got a lot of new counters and everything in there.
Oh, they've done a lot of remodeling and changing around during the summer months. I noticed.
Calling Mr. Ware. Mr. Ware and Housewares, please call the warehouse. Warehouse calling Mr. Ware and Housewares. Where's Mr. Ware? Are you there, Mr. Ware? Warehouse.
Give me the shirt, will you? I'll return it and get a refund slip, and we'll go pick out something else.
You mean you'll pick out something else? I'm through picking up.
Oh, come on, kiddo. Don't be like that. Now, you wait here, and I'll just step through this door to the exchange booth. And...
Now, wait! Oh!
What the nickel-plated heck was that in there?
Attention, shoppers. The exchange booth is no longer located on the main floor. That space is now a fitting room.
Now she tells
I
me.
tried to stop you, but you never read signs.
All exchanges are now made at the exchange desk on the second floor.
Oh, thanks.
Other changes are as follows. Ladies' dresses, formerly on the third floor, is now on the second floor. Men's wear, formerly on the second floor, is now on the main floor. And the main floor, formerly on the main floor, is now in the basement.
I wonder where the basement is. It was such a nice basement. I hope they didn't throw it away.
Come on, let's find a floor walker. I don't even know where I am by this time.
There's more fun with the McGee shortly.
R, dependable, C, dependable, A, as dependable as can be. That's why every year more people buy RCA Victor than any other TV for dependability.
This year, RCA Victor Television is out to break all popularity records, and here's why. Never before has RCA Victor offered you so much for so little. Here are new television sets that are breathtakingly beautiful, with exclusive engineering advances to give top performance. And prices are the lowest in RCA Victor history. So cash in on these great buys. Visit your dealer soon, and remember...
It's dependable, C, so dependable, A, as dependable as can be. That's why every year more people buy RCA Victor than any other TV. For dependability.
Remember the world's best names for quality. RCA and RCA Victor.
And the floor walker says the place to get a refund for this shirt with the daisies on it is to take it...
I still say they're not daisies.
All right, so they're nasty tertiums, or maybe they're water lilies. They look like daisies to me, and whatever kind of flowers they are, I don't wear a flowered shirt.
You said that before.
So all we gotta do is take it to the second floor exchange desk, get a refund slip, and go pick out a new shirt.
There's the elevator over there.
Let's use the escalator. It's faster. Come on, it's right over here.
All right, kids, want a lift? How about I'll take you upstairs?
No, look who's here, the old-timer.
Hi, old-timer. Move over.
What are you doing at the Bonton?
Just stopped in on my lunch hour, kids, to get a present for my girlfriend.
Bessie?
Bessie? Who's that?
Your girlfriend.
Oh, you're thinking of last month, daughter. That's over.
What?
Don't tell me you and Bessie split up.
Yep. It was just one of those things.
Oh, dear.
Just one of those crazy things. One of those bells that now and then ring.
Huh?
Just one of those things.
I thought this was a real romance.
Just one of those nights. One of those fabulous flights. A trip to the moon on gossamer wings.
Oh, you're...
Just one of those things.
But you and Bessie had such fun together, though.
We'd thought a bit of the end of it when we started painting the town. We'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down, kids.
Oh, come on now, cut it out.
Yes, you haven't really broken up with Bessie, have you?
Nope. Just being facetious, kids, whatever that means.
Oh, good.
I've been seeing Bessie every Saturday night for as long as I can remember. Why, Saturday night just wouldn't be the same without my Bessie.
Wouldn't be, huh?
I should say not. Bessie's the one that gets the passes to the Bijou. Uh-oh. Second floor, here's where I get off.
Yeah, us too. We're going to the exchange desk.
I'm going to the toy department. Going to buy me and Bessie a pair of beanies with a set of matching propellers. So
Goodbye.
So long, old-timer. Boy, he is a kid, isn't he?
I'll bet if Bessie bought him a beautiful shirt like this one, he
Oh,
would...
now, please, Molly. Let's just take it back and no hard feelings, huh?
Well...
I can't help it if I don't like flowers on my shirts, especially daisies on a field of dandelions. They got lots of shirts. So after we get the refund slip, we'll pick out something masculine. And I'll be so proud of my new shirt. Boy, that's the quickest I ever got a refund in this joint. $10 you paid for that shirt, huh?
Yes.
I'll get a beauty for that. Boy, look at all the good-looking sports shirts here, huh?
Would you like to see some sports shirts, sir? I'll be glad to help you.
Yes, we'd like to look them over, sis. I got this refund slip here, and I want to pick one out in the place of the one my wife bought me.
Do you have the same trouble with your husband?
All the time.
Don't men get the strangest notions? Just because he thinks...
If you'll just let her show us some sports shirts, kiddo. Anything up to $10, sis. But make it real masculine. None of those delicate patterns like my wife do me.
See, I think I have just the thing for you.
Good.
Yes, here we are. This shirt is all the rage in Hollywood.
Yeah?
In fact, this is the shirt that was specially designed for John Wayne to wear on the set of The High and Mighty. There.
Oh, here we go again. The one with the daisies. Look, sis, do you mean to say a he-man like John Wayne actually wore a shirt that's got daisies all over? Daisies on a field of dandelions?
Daisies? On a field of dandelions?
Why, certainly. Isn't that what this shirt
Oh, of course not. Those are crossed airplane propellers against the background of storm clouds.
Airplane propellers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you look at it close...
This shirt was designed by that famous Hollywood stuntman. See, here's his signature. Jet Logan.
Jet Logan? My gosh. Yeah, you see there, Molly? See his name on the hem there. Jet Logan.
This is an excellent buy at $10, sir.
I'll take it. Now, don't wrap it up. I'll step in the dressing room over there and put it on. Give her the refund slip, will you, Molly? Boy, Jet Logan. Wait till the guys at the Elks Club.
Aren't men ridiculous?
We'll say goodnight to Fibber and Molly in a moment. You know, the month of September is 9 days gone already. And that means autumn is on its brisk and exciting way once more. It won't be too long before these summer days will give way to falling leaves, school books, and the exciting spectacle of college football. Just about everyone in the country has football fever in the fall, and here at NBC we're no exception. In fact, beginning September 18th, that's a couple of Saturdays away, NBC will bring you complete coverage of the top college football game of the week, direct from the home team stadium. You'll hear every bit of the color and the tension that accompany the clash of two high-powered teams. It's NBC's direct report to you of the autumn gridiron spectacle, beginning Saturday afternoon, September 18th. And speaking of sports, NBC also brings you the Friday night favorite cavalcade of sports, and you can hear it tomorrow night. Don Dunphy brings you a blow-by-blow account of the week's best boxing match direct from ringside. Remember, it's NBC for the best in sports coverage the year around.
Paper tonight, Molly. Look at this ad for the Bonfire.
What is it?
Says big clearance sale on sports shirts. Starts tomorrow. Every shirt in the store, half price.
It never fails.
Hey, do you think I could take this shirt back, get a refund on it, and get two just like it? Because two shirts with cross propellers on the field of storm clouds.
No.
Okay. Good night.
Good night, all.
Fibber, McGee, and Polly is an NBC Radio Network production transcribed, with Bill Thompson as the old-timer, Robert Easton as Les, Elvia Allman as the store announcer, and Natalie Masters as the sales lady. This is John Wald reminding you that we'll be back again Sunday night at this time when Mr. McGee's predicted fortune causes him some concern. Listen again Sunday night to Fibber, McGee, and Polly.
Get behind the headlines to the heart of the news tonight on most NBC radio stations.
Suspense. And the producer of radio's outstanding theater of thrills, the master of mystery and adventure, William N. Robson.
The dream of every actor is the perfect performance. The performance that brings the audience to its feet, shouting bravo, and brings the critics to their knees with rave notices. But audiences, critics, and playwrights, being what they are, this dream is seldom realized. In the upcoming suspense story, however, it is, with some startling results. Listen then as Mr. Vincent Price stars in Rave Notice, which begins in just a moment.
Memo on Medals. Facts and figures about military decorations with which you may not be familiar. Among the earliest forms of medals was a gold button presented by Alexander the Great to a high priest in the 4th century B.C. after winning an important battle. Crude medallions became the standard form of commemorating victory until in the 15th century, a noted Italian artist-sculptor developed and perfected a classic medallion, the forerunner of our modern medals. During Queen Victoria's reign, the present system of awarding medals was introduced and was soon adopted by other countries. Two famous early American medals appear in the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. One presented to Captain Thomas Truxton, commander of the U.S. Constellation, for defeating the French frigate Vengeance during the West Indies campaign of 1800. The other medal on exhibit is the one awarded to General Ulysses S. Grant for breaking Confederate control of the Mississippi River during the Civil War. Old or new, medals represent a memorable, heroic act worthy of our respect and pride. And now,
Grave Notice, starring Vincent Price. A tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
I'm an actor, and this is a theater. Up there on the stage, beyond the empty seats, lit by the single bare bulb of the work light, are my fellow actors. We are here to make a play. Friend Norman, sitting alone in the third row, is our director. This is the 5th day of rehearsal. It's not a bad little play, but you know Norman. Norman will manage somehow to spoil it. Norman will misdirect the actors and lose the battle.
No. No, 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 no. Why not? Because I am the director and I say no. No. All right, yes, take 5. Oh, Sam. Sam, come over here. I want to talk to you.
Sure. Well, what is it?
Sam, I've had to turn over the bell ringer to Luther.
The bell ringer? That's my part, the bell ringer. What do you mean, Luther?
Don't make it difficult for me,
Difficult?
Sam.
I'm not making it difficult. The bell ringer role is mine, that's all. There's no difficulty involved. You must be kidding.
It's not as if I hadn't warned you.
Well, look, tell me what's wrong. Tell me where I've gone off. What irritates you? What doesn't fit? I'll fix it. That's my role, Norman. I carry the whole play with that role.
Don't shout, Sam. Don't make a fool of yourself.
A fool? Huh. Norman, why are you doing this?
Because you're not right for it.
Not right? You fat pig, what do you know?
Easy.
What do you know? What do you know about acting?
Easy, Sam. Take it easy there.
Fat belly, fat head, fat face.
That's enough.
You know nothing.
I know you. I know actors. You're no actor. You stink.
Ooh, kill you for saying that.
And I'll kill you. Did you hear that, Cass? Your witnesses. He's threatening me again.
Yes, listen well, my friend. Norman, I'm going to kill you.
Norman, I'm going to kill you. You see, you can't even deliver that line. You stink.
What have I done? One little shoot-through fact. Pardon me, I was thinking... what have you got? What a killer rat.
Oh, I think maybe 22, huh? It's a nice little gun.
They look pretty small. This is an awful big rat, a fat rat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I think a shotgun, 410, yes.
You think that'll do it?
It should.
Bullets, you have bullets?
Shells you use in this gun.
Very well, I want one.
One box?
No, one shell.
Only one?
Yeah, this rat I'm not going to miss. Time now. You will come out of the stage door and walk this way through Shubit's alley on his way to Sardi's for a drink. I slide the gun out from under my coat and I wonder, heart or belly? Heart or belly? Belly. Belly, yes, his cultivated paunch fatted with actors' hearts. Here he comes, on cue for his exit. Goodbye, Norman.
Sam! I'm shot.
Norman, you're dying.
Please, somebody call an ambulance, please.
Is this how you play your destiny, Norman? You're dying, Norman. Play it. Play it! Right away. He just lay there in Shubit's alley and bled. And then they took him to the hospital, and they took me to Tombs Prison, and they got me a lawyer.
You can dramatically sigh all you want.
I suppose when he dies, I become a murderer.
Down
They'll electrocute me.
Yes?
I must have been crazy.
I thought of that.
What do you mean?
Temporary insanity.
I thought we might plead that.
Well, why don't we?
Because you threatened him before witnesses at least twice, went to a store, chose a gun with great care, waited for him to appear. You did all this, and then you shot him.
That's right, I did.
That's premeditated murder. First-degree murder.
So the temporary insanity thing is out.
Way out. The only other thing I could think of is that we could prove you were insane all along.
What would happen? I mean, what would happen if I were?
Then they couldn't execute you.
Of course.
You seem very calm.
I'm an actor. Insane. Mad. I know a joke. A wonderful joke. I'm going to beat Norman even in his grave. I'm going to have myself exonerated.
Hazel!
Yes, freed of the charges. It's so simple. I'm going to play the greatest role of my life. Play it without makeup, without lights, without script or cue. I'm going to play a part strangely foreign to my nature. I'm going to play a homicidal maniac.
In a moment, we continue with the second act of Suspense.
Another visit with Joe and Daphne Forsythe.
Joe, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, Daphne. Just eating a midnight snack.
What is that mess?
That mess is a liverwurst, salami, lettuce, and peanut butter delight.
Nightmare is more like it. What woke you up?
My stomach was growling. What woke you up?
You. And I was dreaming such a pleasant dream.
Oh? What?
I dreamed all of our savings bonds had matured and we were cashing them in.
That kind of a dream I can appreciate.
We were planning a trip around the world, and you bought me a fur coat, and I bought you that fishing tackle you want. Oh, it was gorgeous.
Well, it doesn't have to be just a dream. Some of our savings bonds are ready to mature now.
Joe, maybe we shouldn't cash them in. They can go on earning interest, you know, and it adds up fast.
I know. That's why we started buying savings bonds, remember? With a bond a month on the payroll savings plan, our money is saved automatically.
Stop waving that sandwich under my nose. You're making me hungry.
Well, fix yourself a sandwich, ma'am. I got all the makings right over here.
All right. Move over, you bond-buying midnight maverick. I'm going to fix myself a humdinger.
And now, starring Vincent Price, Act 2 of Rave Notice.
I'm going to play a homicidal maniac. How? How? By using the method, the Stanislavski method. See, now, what is the most horrible thing I ever did? The thing closest to murder. I must recreate that mood. Murder, killing, blood. I killed a cat once. I was 6 years old. I had a stick. It was in an alley, this cat. I poked it just for fun. He scratched me, and I hit him with the stick. He started squalling, and oh, I thought, I'm going to get in trouble. Stop that noise. Stop that noise. So I hit him again to make him stop, and again to make him stop. And there was blood, red blood on the gray cement. And I struck and struck and struck out the screams, struck out the life, struck out the awful gaze of those great yellow eyes. Struck out the life. Strike out the spirit, the spark. I killed. A murderer am I. I killed for the thrill of the silence of the cat. I am a murderer. A murderer I am. I kill without reason. And that's it. That's the character. All I need for turning it on is the memory, those key points, gray cement, cat's eyes, my feelings as a 6-year-old. Oh, there'll be refinements. I'll refine it. Oh, Norman, if you were only to see this scene. Dim the house lights. Raise the curtain. And now to bring in the audience.
Hey, you.
Who, may I ask, are you?
What's going on down here, Murph?
I don't know.
Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
Come on, now, will you, Mark?
I ask
Calm
a simple
down.
question and I expect a civil answer. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
So nice and quiet for a while.
Just answer my question. That's all I ask, and that's not much for a hero to be asking now, is it?
You don't know who we are.
I think he's putting on an act.
Hey, don't turn your head away. We know you hear us.
Yeah, leave him be.
Who cares?
That was very weak. You can do better than that. You're supposed to be a murderer, a homicidal maniac. So what's the emotion? Guilt. You've got to be guilty. Smear yourself with the stuff. Guilty, bloody hands, guilty, and you want to be punished. Yes, punish yourself. That'll do it. But it'll hurt. So what? Not like it hurts when they shave your head and slit your trousers and strap you to your seat. That seat, 10,000 volts coursing through this poor player's frail body. Murderer. Guilty. You should be punished. 1, 2, 3. Curtain going up. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. There's blood on my hands, blood and filth and disease. I smashed him on the grave cement and smashed him. I murdered him. I'm a murderer. I confess it. I confess it. Oh, look, I want to confess to purge myself of this guilt.
Come on,
I am
take it
guilty
easy.
of the I smashed him. I smashed him.
What are you getting so worked up about the guy ain't even dead yet?
Not dead. He is dead. He's been dead these past 36 years. 36 years. Oh, if you don't punish me, I... Oh.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, will you quit beating your fist against the wall?
I am guilty. And I shall be smashed as he was smashed.
Hey, your hand, you're going to bust your hand on that wall
I
there.
shall be smashed. It is written. You know the writing in blood that lies across the counterpane in the bed under the window when little boys are supposed to be far away in slumberland.
Mahoney?
Yeah?
Get the doctor. This guy flipped.
Good. This is killing me. Broken. I don't mind the bloody scrapes, knuckles, or even breaking the face, but not the bone. Two cats dead. Murdered by my stick. 4 cats dead. Murdered by my stick.
How long has he been doing it?
About 15 minutes, Doctor.
I see. All right, now, you can stop that.
Don't stop. I don't look. I keep right at it. Keep it apart. Murderer. Guilty.
Stop it.
I'm paying a price.
Stop it.
I am buying my way out of the electric chair.
All right, grab him.
Please, I want to pay. I'm the guilty one, and I want to pay my debt to society.
Hold it.
No, let me go. I must pay.
Steady. Crystal quiet.
Needle. Injection. It'll knock me out. I can't act if I'm unconscious. I can't play my part if my guilty part. If got to hurt myself. Got to hurt myself.
In a moment, we continue with the third act of Suspense.
We have together ample capacity and freedom to defend freedom. This is NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization goes far beyond a formidable military defense organization. Within its networks of committees functions the machinery to contribute to further development of peaceful and friendly international relations by strength of sharing tasks and pooling scientific facilities and information. The United States of America is a part of NATO. You should be aware of and alert to the objectives and programs of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
And now, starring Vincent Price, Act 3 of Rave Notice.
It's so quiet here, so white. Such sweet stillness and peace. Gone the darkness of the cell, steel and concrete. They're watching me very carefully. The
one was new. The other gave me the hypodermic, yes. Hypodermic. How long have I been out? Did I say anything while I was out? Perhaps I can tell them. Let me know.
Well, let's put it another way. Excessive guilt with a compulsion to self-destruction.
Nothing new about that.
Look, he's opening his eyes.
Hello? You awake?
Who are you? You remember me, don't you?
No.
I gave you something to quiet you a little while ago.
A little while ago.
When you were trying to injure yourself, and we think you're insane.
And you decided to give that up, and
I have to carry out my sentence, you know.
How will you carry out your sentence?
Be smashed. I'm to be smashed as I have smashed the cat.
Is that the law?
Yes, I smashed it with a stick. I smashed you with a stick.
After you smashed me with a stick, what happened?
What?
What happened after he was dead?
I was frightened. I went home. Mama was there. She said, "How did you get blood on your hands?" I said, "A dog licked my hand, and he had blood on his teeth."
I understand you're an actor.
Well, aren't we all actors? We try to act innocent when we're killed.
Doctor, will you step outside a moment?
I've got them. What are they talking about up there? I wish I knew. Doesn't matter. I've got them. I know that. I've got them. I've got them.
Well, I guess you'll be leaving us soon.
Thank you. Thank you. You're very understanding, Doctor. I'm guilty and I must pay. You know that.
Well, what the doctor means? That you're going to a place where they'll help you get well.
Get well?
Yes, of course. Doctor, if you'll have the affidavit drawn up, I'll sign. We'll get a court order committing him.
Right.
You were right all along. You know, I wasn't sure until you told me about the man he shot being out of danger.
Oh, yes. The guard told the patient his victim had recovered. But he didn't comprehend, of course. Went right on screaming and punishing himself.
I see. What would they have given him if we'd found him sane?
Well, that depends. The injured body is
Recovered? They didn't tell me Norman had recovered. How could he have recovered? I shot him in his bad part. When did he tell me? It was while I was screaming. Maybe I was really into the part and deep in it. I couldn't have heard him. Now he'll be free and I will go off to an insane asylum married to a role that I loathe, that I hate. No. Doctor! Doctor, come back! It was all a joke, Doctor, a game. Come back! Listen, Doctor, I have a confession to make. I'm not insane. Please, believe me.
Oh, of course you're not.
I know you're wrong. Don't you see it was all a gag? Just a gag!
Yes, of course.
Now you're going to a place where you can rest and everything's going to be all right.
No, believe me, I am sane.
What?
I'm not shouting. I only want to request of you.
It's not allowed.
Look, my lawyer said if I could prove insanity, I wouldn't go to the chair.
Chair?
Yes.
I thought you were to be, you said smash.
Forget that.
Yo, man, let me make some Captain Crunch, all right? Tell me, have any milk?
A program transcribed earlier from Mutual.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Once again, the Mutual Broadcasting System brings you the thrilling adventures of the Shadow, the hard and relentless fight of one man against the forces of evil. These dramatizations are designed to demonstrate forcibly to old and young alike that crime does not pay. Are you interested in engineering, electronics, ship design, travel, and a steady job? you are a young man between the ages of 17 and 22, you may qualify for a 4-year college education and a career of public service in the United States Coast Guard. This oldest branch of the seagoing services maintains an academy at New London, Connecticut, for the professional training of its future officers. Applicants selected for the Coast Guard Academy by nationwide examinations begin their training each year late in July. Applications for this year's convening class must be postmarked not later than April 1st, and entrance examinations are held on May 8th. For complete information, write to the Superintendent, U.S. Coast Guard Academy, New London, Connecticut, or visit your nearest Coast Guard recruiting station today. And now, the Shadow.
The Shadow, who aids the forces of law and order, is in reality Lamont Cranston, wealthy young man about town. Years ago in the Orient, Cranston learned a strange and mysterious secret, the hypnotic power to cloud men's minds so they cannot see him. Cranston's friend and companion, the lovely Margot Lane, is the only person who knows to whom the voice of the invisible shadow belongs. Today's drama, The Touch of Death. It is early afternoon. Lamont Cranston, in his dual role of the Shadow, has just broken another case and is about to enter his apartment to get some much-needed rest.
Oh, get these clothes off.
6 hours left. Why do some people have to be criminals to get what they want? Oh, well, I'll let the philosophers figure that one out.
You won't do it wrong.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cranston. How did you... We've been waiting patiently in your kitchen. Nice view of the river, I must say. How did you get in here? I hope you'll forgive us for having raided your icebox, but you were gone such a long time. Who are you? What do you want? I'm Lucius Hawk. This is my sister-in-law, Molly Hawk. Hawk? Yes, I see the name rings a bell in your memory.
I finished the electric there just 2 weeks ago.
My brother, Mr. Cranston, I was very fond of. Your brother was a murderer, Mr. Hawk.
Nobody would have known about my husband if it hadn't been for you. The Shadow.
Molly, put that gun away.
I Peter is dead.
Put it away. I told you no violence. I don't like the sight of blood. Molly, do as I say or must I?
No, don't come near me.
I find you much too emotional at the wrong time. That's it. Remember to take good care of Mr. Cranston. We need him. What do you want? The Shadow. What? Now you'll be. I didn't laugh when I heard of my brother's death in the electric chair. I could have stopped it if I'd been here, Mr. Cranston, but I wasn't. I've spent nearly all the last 10 years in the jungles of the Amazon, and it wasn't until I returned yesterday that I heard about my brother. It was quite a shock. How do you know the Shadow had anything to do with it?
Peter told me the last time I saw him. This sport. If it hadn't been for your meddling, Cranston.
Relax, Molly. You're wasting your time. The Shadow's invisible, no. I wonder. You think I can do what the underworld failed to do in years? I'm going to make it your responsibility, Mr. Cranston. Now listen, Mr. Hawk. Without your detective work, the Shadow might never have been given the lead to my brother. What did you expect me to do? Let a professional killer go on killing? Cranston, would you like to die now? Molly likes to handle that gun. No, I'm afraid you don't understand. Look at these flowers. Those delicate shades. Graceful stem. Live and die. Ah, it kills. Tommy, come here, Tommy. Tommy must have been under the bed until now. Look at him straight. No, leave him alone.
Get back, Cranston.
What I'm going to do is stroke him. There. Tommy! Wait, you! Why, I've done it again, Mr. Cranston. I touched him and Tommy is dead. You're angry, aren't you? You'd like to choke the life out of him, but you won't. Molly's very emotional and you might pull the trigger. Or have I convinced you that I have the touch of death? Get out of here. Yes. And the fact that it's important to touch you because I need you alive. Remember your assignment. I want the Shadow. And I give you 12 hours to find it. Now get out! Keys, Mr. Cranston. Put them on the table. Oh,
Molly, our friend is very stubborn. Go behind him and take them out of his pocket.
Do I have to get that close to him?
Bear in mind, the gun is not to go off.
Well,
Up them into my hand. With caution, Mr. Cranston. I don't like to be followed. Your keys will be in the lock on the other side of the door.
how do you expect him to find the shadow if he won't get out?
When you get out, my dear, the telephone is still working. Goodbye, Mr. Cranston. The shadow in 12 hours or the touch of death. Here's a chance to use your skill as a detective to save your own life.
He must know you're the shadow, or he wouldn't have come here to ask you to find him.
If he knows Margot, why didn't he kill me?
Why did he?
Very simple. Marley had a gun on me, and
Do you really believe he has the touch of death?
I don't know what he had. I saw him cut those flowers.
Darling, you must do something.
I'd do something. I'd do plenty if I knew where to find him.
Knows where to find you. You can't just sit here and wait. 12 hours.
10 hours, darling. It took me a long time to get you on the phone.
That was nice shopping.
Well, of course, I'll see you today. All right?
I phone him or with you.
No, I'll do it.
Are you going to tell him why?
Can't, Margot. Weston, I think it's you did the duty of talking to me here tonight. You know that I wouldn't stand it.
Hello, Commissioner Weston talking. What do you want?
This is Lamont Cranston.
Oh, Cranston, I'm glad you called. Our date for tonight is off.
Oh, good.
What's good about it? An epidemic of murders has broken out all over the city.
Murder?
Yeah. Now, thanks for calling, Cranston. Give my best to Margot.
Commissioner. Hello. Hello? Epidemic of murders.
What are you talking about?
Mark, we're going down to police headquarters to see Weston. I want to know more about those murders.
Would you mind telling me what murders?
Not at all. After Weston has told me.
All right, but come on, look at me. Close the door, quick.
Darling, since when are you afraid of dead reptiles?
Oh. Oh, dear. Is he really?
Completely. But still useful.
What?
Piece of paper in his mouth.
Well, I can think of nicer ways to read messages, even if they aren't quite so novel.
Lucius Fox.
Oh?
Nothing can resist the touch of death, my friend, not even the venomous serpent. Good luck, Mr. Cranston. Good hunting.
That man is a monster.
Yes, a monster with a plan. He thinks he's using the strategy of terror on me. Keep your eyes on the road, Molly, and on that car ahead.
Letting Cranston live. I tell you, Lucius, he's not going to find the shadow for us. He's not even going to try.
How certain you are.
You know why? It's because he's not afraid of you.
He will be, when he knows as much about me as you do.
He'd have gone for you if I didn't have the gun on him and he killed his kitten.
Well, that would have been a pity.
I'm sorry I didn't let him. I should have forced you to kill him.
Molly, will you please understand, Mr. Cranston must be kept alive until I'm ready to make my own disposition. And it's your duty to see that he is. Not to do anything foolish when my back is turned.
But Lucius, I promised Peter before he
Not
died.
important.
Peter was my husband.
And he was my brother. I'll do as I say.
Yes, sir.
You play chess, Molly.
Yes.
You should learn. To see the value of planning ahead. Look where Mr. Cranston stopped his car.
But Lucius, right off that Lucius for me.
Yes, my strategy is beginning to work. Mr. Cranston will lead me to the shadow in spite of himself.
No, nobody's going home. I'm putting every man on 24-hour duty. See that the order goes out right away. I want that maniac picked up today.
What maniac, Commissioner?
Oh, Cranston, you and Miss Lane picked a bad time to make a social call. I'm up to my ears in work.
Oh, Commissioner, hello is such a small word.
Margot.
Maniac.
Roy Jackson. He broke out of the institution yesterday. 3 murders in the last 2 hours, and the same pattern he used 6 years ago before the shadow caught him.
You mean girls?
Blonde, beautiful, and all under 25. If I could only get my hands on the shadow.
Why the shadow?
Well, I need him. Roy Jackson's got the cunning of every homicidal maniac. And I've got to stop these killings.
Commissioner,
What is it?
how were those girls killed?
I said Roy Jackson. That can mean only one thing. They were strangled.
Are those girls aboard?
Cranston, sometimes you ask...
No, I'd like to see them. Would you mind?
No, I don't mind. But don't stick your 2 cents in. I don't want any amateurs cluttering up this case.
I'll bear that in mind, Commissioner. Now, let's go, darling.
Goodbye, Commissioner. Sometimes that's so much nicer than saying hello.
Yes. Hey, what did you mean by that?
What a mood.
No, he doesn't mean it. Next time he sees us, he'll be apologizing all over the
Well,
place.
he certainly should be. Come on, why are we going to the morgue?
Playing a hunch, darling.
Is it secret?
No. I want to see if there's any evidence on those girls that might have been concealed by strangling.
What? I don't understand.
And now simply this. Were those girls killed by Jackson or by someone else?
I'm coming. What are you folks trying to do? Wait to dead?
Hello, McCann.
Oh, Mr. Cranston. Come in. Is this lady with you?
Mm-hmm. I'm leaving with him, too.
Huh? Oh, Miss Lane, I didn't recognize you behind them green blinkers.
Okay, I'll take him on.
Oh, what can I show you today?
Those 3 girls who were strangled.
Yeah, sure, over this way. Commissioner's sure making a fuss over them gals, Mr. Cranston. Been here twice since they got brung in. Checking and rechecking like there was some mystery.
Well, he wanted to make sure that...
He did. Second time he come, he says, Roy Jackson done it. Then he walks out of here madder and... Oh, excuse me, Miss Lane, I got evil thoughts. Now, here's the first one.
I'm all right.
Here's the second one. And here's number 3. I don't know what you're looking for, Mr. Cranston, but you ain't gonna find it.
Maybe I won't, McCann.
The coroner says they got strangled. That's right, Miss Lane. There's the verdict. Hey, Miss Lane, you're crying.
It doesn't make me so only a maniac could have done this to him.
That's what Commissioner Weston says. I bet you ghost that him now, coming back for another look. How many go out of men?
Nothing so far. Everything points to Jackson. It's happened. We'll put on the next behind. He doesn't have a chance.
Shall we go now?
No, just a minute.
But what are you looking for this?
I'm playing my hunt.
I hope that hunt is long. What's that?
Oh, it's the cab. The cab. What's the matter?
Lamont, look on the floor.
Cab.
Darling, look how he's clutching in his heart. I'll phone for
Yes, quick. Margaret. This may have been another warning, Margot.
What?
Not at all sure that McCabe's heart failure might not have been induced by murder.
During the war, 85 million Americans bought war bonds. Today, those same Americans are not only holding on to their war bonds, but are buying United States savings bonds. These bonds are identical except for names to the war bonds you purchased during the war years. There were many good reasons for buying bonds during the war. We had to have the planes and the tanks and the equipment. With victory, your victory bonds helped bring the boys home, helped to provide needed hospitalization and care for the wounded. And yet, while your war bonds and victory bonds were doing all that, they were working for you, providing a bulwark for your own future. United States savings bonds can do that same job. They give you the opportunity to lay aside a financial nest egg for yourself. They make it possible for you to save the money that will buy you a home, that will pay for education for your children, that may be the means to start out in business. Whatever your objective, U.S. savings bonds can help to make those dreams come true. You can buy U.S. savings bonds through the payroll savings plan or at any bank or post office. For your own future, buy them and hold them. Now, back to the shadow.
Several hours later, at Lamont Cranston's apartment,
Your savings bonds today for every $3 you put in, you get $2 back.
I take back everything I said about the shadow of the good. He doesn't hold a candle to the policeman and never will.
Oh, Commissioner, he's done some good, you know.
Here and there, but two captured Roy Davis tonight. My boy. Caught him flat on his back asleep in a barn.
Are you satisfied that he strangled those girls?
Aren't you, Cranston?
Jack denied it.
So what?
He didn't deny the murders he committed 6 years ago.
What's that got to do with now?
Well, it breaks the pattern.
Cranston, you ought to read a book on criminology.
I have, Commissioner. On page 1 it says, don't believe everything you see.
Are you leading into the subject of McCabe again?
I'm in it, Commissioner.
Now, look. You kids are not going to tie me up for the night. The coroner says McCabe had a heart attack. That makes it six.
Couldn't he have been wrong?
No, he couldn't. He checked that poor old guy from head to foot. There wasn't a mark on it to prove your suspicion of murder.
But, Commissioner, I told you, McCabe got an insurance policy on his life only a month ago. He was examined by a doctor and found to be okay.
Oh, what does that prove? A lot of things can change in a month. Look, Cranston, it's getting late and I've got a big day ahead of me. And I've had enough murder for the time being. Good night.
He's a hard man to convince, isn't he?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell him about Mr. Hawk?
Darling, I don't know enough about him myself.
But you're sure he killed me.
Not only McCabe, darling, I'm sure he killed those girls.
Why him?
He wants the shadow. Margot, he'll keep killing until he gets the shadow. Excuse me. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Cranston.
Lucius.
Well, my friend, have you good news to report?
Not yet.
Oh, what a pity. The time is nearly up, you know.
I'll need more, Lucius.
More time, but I gave you 12 hours.
I'm sorry, I'm not a miracle man.
And I thought you were. How we can judge you. Well, have you at least?
I don't know. I might have.
Would you like to tell me about it?
I can.
You will. Come to my apartment, 972 Park Drive. And come alone.
Very well, I'll be there in half an hour. I'll go to the break I've been waiting for. Come on, darling, I'll take you home.
Lamont, you are not going there alone. Of course. But suppose it's a trap. If he as much as suspects that you're the shadow,
Don't worry, darling, he won't kill me.
I'm going with you.
Now, Mark.
Don't try to talk me out of it, Lamont, because you can't get rid of it.
All right. I hope you know what you're doing. He's coming, my dear. Thank you, Molly.
Did you say you want to talk to him?
I didn't say, but milk, of course, warm.
Oh, come on.
No, wait. Don't worry. I can do that myself later.
I don't mind.
Molly, it's too bad that I won't be here to greet Mr. Cranston.
Are you going away?
Yes, I must. But you'll stay, won't you?
Sure.
Of course you will.
What are you doing?
I'm going to kill you, my dear.
No.
I can't tell you how sorry I am, but it's part of my plan.
Why? Why?
Conclusive proof of the touch of death. It should convince Mr. Cranston that I mean business.
Oh, don't let me, please. Let me live.
Don't run away, Molly. There's no pain in death.
Please. Please, I don't want to die.
Who does? But it comes to all of us sooner or later.
No.
And for you, it must come sooner. You've no place to go now, Molly. You're in a corner. Goodbye, my dear. Oh, Molly. Just a line for the police. I will.
No, please don't go in.
What's the matter?
Can't you see it's a trap? He didn't answer the buzzer. He left the door unlocked for you to open, and he's waiting somewhere in there to take you.
Let's not keep him waiting.
Why did you stop? Why, Molly, his sister-in-law, his own brother's wife.
I don't know, but I've got to find... This. On the wrist, a tiny mark.
I don't see him.
Please.
Nothing that looks like a mark.
No, look closer, right here.
No, but I see something else going on.
What?
A note on that typewriter on the table.
He leaves in messages, doesn't he? What does it say?
It says, one by one, the evidence mounts. You next, Mr. Cranston. The shadow isn't in your apartment before morning. Don't keep me away. The monster knows.
We'll find out.
What are you going to do?
Nothing. The shadow is not going to keep Lucius waiting.
Play well, Lucius.
Ah, Shadow. Thank you. A compliment from one so high.
Too bad you can't keep those hands from killing.
Yes, you're not as sentimental as I am. Shadow, you impress me.
Do I?
Yes, you're all my sister-in-law and Mr. Cranston says you are. Invisible. I didn't quite believe it, you know. Being secluded in the jungles of the Amazon for 10 years, one loses touch with modern science.
But not with death.
Listen. This is a native death chant that I've written into a symphony.
Why did you kill those three girls?
There was no other way to meet you.
And the cop? Your sister-in-law?
Then Mr. Cranston has told you everything?
The shadow doesn't have to be told. The shadow knows.
The shadow and Mr. Cranston, where does one begin and the other end? I wonder.
I can tell you what your end will be, Lucius.
Mere assumption. Sit down, my friend. Make yourself visible. We can talk more affably. Perhaps even reach an understanding.
Shadow doesn't sit with murderers.
Well, then perhaps Mr. Cranston will sit down with me.
Mr. Cranston?
Yes. You see, I know who you are. I suspected it from the beginning, but I needed the proof to convince myself.
You're bluffing, Lucius.
Am I? Well, look at the mark that your shoes are leaving on the rug.
Huh?
With each step, you leave the mark of Lamont Cranston. Am I bluffing now?
It won't help you, Lucius.
Oh, Shadow, you're not as clever as I thought you might be. I outsmarted you. I phoned Lamont Cranston to come to my apartment, and then I killed Molly. That was a trap that I had set for you, and you walked right into it, into the paraffin that I had smeared around Molly's body. And now, the shadow has brought it here. So what am I to think?
Well, what about it?
Well, that's a sensible question. Your power to make yourself invisible, my power to kill with a touch. Combine them, and we can have anything we want.
I see. As equal partners?
Of course.
Oh, no. I want more.
Oh, greedy, aren't you? Very well, how much?
I want everything.
What? You serious?
When I bargain with murderers, I have no sense of humor, Lucius. Get on that phone. Call the police. Tell them everything you did today.
But if I should also tell them who the shadow is...
Go ahead.
Every newspaper in the city will carry the story. What do you suppose the underworld would do to Lamont Cranston then?
He'll take his chances with the underworld, Lucius. A phone?
Well, I'm afraid you give me no alternative. I'll have to kill you. Don't try to get away. I know exactly where you are. Your shoe prints tell me. You're behind the table.
Where, Lucius?
Well, you're still behind the table.
Am I?
You must be. I'll find you. I'll find you the paraffin on your shoes. And when I do... Oh!
What will you do, Lucius?
My arm! My arm!
Why don't you touch me? Oh! I'm right here behind you, holding your wrist. Why don't you kill me?
I can't stand it. Let me go.
Did you know that paraffin could be wiped off? You didn't think of that, did you?
No, please, I won't betray you. Let me
Wait a
go.
moment. First, I'll rip off this glove. Now I've got your touch of death.
Oh, you almost broke my arm.
Very ingenious to find a glove that fits over the hand and looks exactly like a human hand. And under each nail, a fine needle with poison on it. The case against you is complete, Lucius.
Is it? Oh, no, Shadow, because I still have the other glove.
Stop it, Lucius.
Not now, Shadow.
Stop it! So, Lucius. The last victim of the
touch of death. Too bad you didn't think of your own death before you killed others.
Well, good night, darling. Better get home and get some of that sleep that's wrong with you.
Wait just 1 minute. I'm still nervous about how close the Callahan is. You know that your life wouldn't have been worth a pincushion?
I know, darling. It was the closest call the Shadow ever had.
Yes, but there's one thing I don't understand. How could the coroner have taken the cab died of heart failure when actually he was poisoned?
Well, Margaret, there's some poisons that associate being so mysterious their presence in the blood can't be detected. Natives of the Amazon jungle produce such poison.
Oh, I see.
I'm glad you can be silent.
What do you mean?
Darling, I'm so sleepy that you and the street all around you are almost invisible.
Millions of people are still buying bonds through the payroll savings plan. The payroll savings plan is being continued by your government at the request of both labor and management. Here is the easy way to save, to provide that substantial nest egg for the future, and to make money at the same time. For U.S. savings bonds, pay $4 at maturity 10 years from now for every $3 invested today. Enroll on the payroll savings plan and start saving so that you can own your own home or provide a college education for your children or have the means to go into business someday. And if you don't work in a plant where the payroll savings plan is in effect, make it a weekly habit to visit your bank or post office. You can always buy U.S. savings bonds at either place. Buy them and hold them for your own future. And now the Shadow again.
The Shadow program is based on a story copyrighted by Street and Smith Publications. The characters, names, places, and plot are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Again next week, the Shadow will demonstrate that
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The
Next week, same time, same station. Mutual Don Lee will bring you another strange and thrilling adventure in the Shadow's daring battle against the forces of evil. Be sure to listen. This program was transcribed earlier from Mutual's Eastern Network for presentation to our West Coast listeners. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
WROW Albany, fair and cool tonight, gradually diminishing winds, the low 25 to 30. Monday, continued fair and mild, high in the low 50s. Present temperature, 45 degrees. And now, a tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. In a moment, Act One of Memory of a Murder, starring Philip Sterling as Harry Jonas, and written especially for Suspense by John Roper. This first portion of Suspense is brought to you by the makers of Alpine cigarettes. What's it like to smoke an Alpine? Well, it's like many fresh little things that please you. It's like the stirring of leaves when a breeze comes up. Like a weather vane turning in a summer sky. The way the air feels in the morning when you open the door to get the paper. That's what it's like to smoke an Alpine. Alpine is nothing at all like the sort of smoking you may be used to. Alpine is a fresh, free-wheeling kind of smoke. A bright, bracing, even invigorating kind of taste. If this sounds good to you, try Alpine filter cigarettes.
There's something more to smoking with an Alpine cigarette.
I let my thoughts project once. It was while I was sitting on a bench in Cumberland Park. I saw a scene suspended in time. I saw it, just me and nobody else, like I was getting a sneak preview of something yet to happen, or maybe something that had already happened. Of an old scene that keeps wandering in space because it never found its place in time. In the scene, there's a young guy screaming. A scream of terror. A scream of the man looking in the face of his murderer. It is in Wingate Cemetery. In the scene, I'm hiding behind a tombstone, watching a gravedigger working away by lantern light. There's a body on the ground. The young man, blue in the face where the moon touches his cheeks, and very dead. The digging stops, and soon the earth is restored. The digger is a tall man with sunken cheeks like deep holes in his face. The last thing he does is pick up an object that looks like it might have fallen from the corpse's pocket. He examines it, and then heaves it in the direction of my hiding place. It hits the tombstone I'm hiding behind. When I can, I pick it up. It's a medal, the size of a $50. There's an engraving on it, Queen Isabella of Spain, and the words Buen Éxito, meaning good luck in Spanish. And then I lose the digger. The following day, I find him again. I find him on a colored poster nailed against the wall of the Pageant Theater. There was his picture. A tall man with sunken cheeks wearing a flowing black cape. The poster read, Constantine, Prince of Illusion, assisted by the beautiful Marietta. Constantine, Prince of Illusion was a vaudeville act. There was a guy outside the theater nailing up a sign. Man wanted, it read, apply inside. I applied outside. Take that job, mister. What?
Yeah, you don't even know what the job is.
I'm adaptable. I learned fast.
It's sweeping floors.
Well, I'm a whiz with a broom.
It's troubleshooting backstage. Wire shorts or fire shots.
I've been having trouble since I was born.
What's your name?
Harry Jonas.
All right, I'm Charlie Prince, the theater manager. Okay, Harry, looks like you got the job.
Well, maybe a better way to put it, Mr. Prince. Job's got me. Job did have me. I saw to the floors, changed fuses when they blew, and announced the act. It was 1 p.m. closing. Closing was Constantine, Prince of Illusion, assisted by a beautiful blonde named Marietta, and an old lady, Anna, kind of a wardrobe mistress, Marietta. Constantine's act was the one the audience really paid to see. It was straight terror. The regular routine of sawing Marietta in half, knife throwing, setting her on fire, with a new wrinkle for a smash finish. The guillotine. Marietta stuck her head on a chopping block, and an overhead knife came slicing down. The head rolled.
It makes you sick?
What? What'd you say?
I say Constantine's act with the guillotine makes you sick.
It was old Anna. The woman that got Marietta in and out of her costumes. Yeah, it looked so real, it gave me the shivers. Even knowing it's phony.
I know. Always you are afraid for Marietta. Like Nino always was afraid for her.
Who's Nino?
Nino stood here in the wings like you, sick for Marietta.
I asked you, who's Nino?
You have his job now. And you have his medal.
What? I have his what?
Nino's medal. With the face of Queen Isabella.
What?
I saw it in your hand today. A lucky medal for most. But for Nino, very unlucky. It is one of a kind. Take care not to lose it.
Anna, wait! Take care never to lose the Isabella medal, Anna said. One of a kind. Well, there was a lot I didn't know. When I got him alone, I asked Charlie Prince, the theater manager, a few questions. What happened to my predecessor here, Nino, the guy whose job I've got now?
He skidooed.
What do you mean, skidooed?
Quit. He got an advance on his pay, then beat it without notice. Just disappeared.
Why would you do that?
Constantine. Nino and Marietta were sweet on each other, and Constantine was pretty jealous. There's a tip for you on how to hold your job here.
Stay away from Marietta, huh?
You get the idea, Harry. You get the idea.
But I didn't stay away from Marietta. Even if I had wanted to, I couldn't. I joined Marietta in her dressing room an hour before the theater opened. Got something I have to show you, Marietta. The lady on it is Queen Isabella.
Nino's medal.
That's right. Nino's medal.
Where'd you get it?
I found it. I've been lying about where to everybody, but I'll tell you. I found it in Wingate Cemetery.
And Nino?
He's dead.
Constantine killed him. I knew Constantine would kill him.
I only saw Constantine bury him. Why would Constantine kill Nino?
Because he was insanely jealous of Nino.
Jealous enough to commit murder?
You don't know Constantine.
Are you involved somewhere?
Yes. Yes, and Constantine will see to it that I'm blamed for the murder of Nino along with everything else.
What is everything else?
Robbery. Constantine's not just a paid performer.
What?
He's also a master thief.
And Nino was his accomplice?
Yeah.
And you?
And me too.
You're asking me to protect Constantine?
No. Just to protect me.
My reason for protecting you?
It's in your eyes.
Alright, this shit sucks.
Yeah. You're sure you're a man, aren't you?
With Rico Marcelli's orchestra, the Johnston Merry Men, Lynn Martin, and Marion and Jim, as those extraordinary, exhilarating exponents of extemporaneous extravaganza, Fibber McGee and Molly. Marcelli and his men start the parade with a medley of circus music. Into the big top, old top. a special combination offer of 98 cents with a free can of touch-up enamel. Johnson's Auto Wax and Auto...
When you hear the bells go ding-a-ling, all going round and quickly you must sing and when the birds dance through. In a chorus all down in there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight.
Platform and see the most independent, startling, stupefying, aggregated, a monstrosity ever assembled in the one case. Jojo, the dog case boy.
Comes around but once a year. Oh, my honey, ain't glad we're here. All the night will hear that gate and the monkey feel that gate. Oh, you circus day. Oh, circus day.
Fibber and Molly are around, we always have a circus, and tonight is no exception to the rule. Here they are, driving along Highway 79, just as they sight the big stop.
Look, McGee, there's the circus.
Oh, what's the matter, Molly?
Stop the car. Pull over there.
Oh, okay. Gotta get them brakes fixed.
Look.
What's the matter, Molly?
A circus it is.
Huh?
A circus, isn't it? A circus. Don't you know what a circus is?
Why, sure I know what a circus is. Place where you go on a night that looks clear but won't be, to spend money you can't afford on stuff you don't give a hoot about, just so you can get sawdust into your cup, taffy into your hair, and chewing gum onto your shoes. That's what a circus is.
Oh, now, McGee. And have you no youth in your blood? Come on, let's stop and go to the circus.
4 bits apiece to see a dad-ratted flock of moth-eaten lions with shaggy hair.
Look what it says, McGee.
Huh?
Mermaids. Real, genuine mermaids. Only 10 cents. Come on, McGee, let's see.
Mermaid. Don't be like that, Molly. Mermaid. A catfish's tail pasted onto a doll's head. That's a mermaid. Sure.
When you look, McGee, see the girls dancing. Oh, my. It is real graceful they are.
Where? Oh! Well, shucks. I guess we ought to go see him at that. Might be real educational. Wait a minute till I get a couple of tickets, Molly. How much for tickets, Bud?
50 cents. That'll be $1, brother.
What? That's kind of steep, ain't it? Here I give up the idea of crawling under the tent, just to be honest, and you tell me...
Hey, up, we'll move on, brother. Don't keep the line waiting. Next, please.
We'll move on. Shucks, Molly. If you'd have made it 2 bits, I might have gone for it.
Oh, McGee, you try to get a discount on your harp and halo. Let's go over and see the animals first. Well, McGee, what are you doing?
This little fella here wants a nickel to buy some beans for his bean shooter, Molly.
Oh, gee.
Now, then, young fella, now you listen here. How'd you like it?
Take over here, folks, take over here for the thrill of a lifetime. Only one dime, 10 cents to see Sparrow, the Tiger Man, half man and half tiger, captured in the wilds of Abyssinia at the cost of 15 lives and $200,000. Just so you can see Sparrow at the ridiculous cost of 1 dime, 10 cents to 10 quarter of a dollar. Don't crowd, folks, don't crowd. Let us tell you.
Come on, McGee.
Wait a minute, Molly, wait a minute. Now, here's a shooting gallery. Let's try our hands with the rifle.
Oh, now, McGee, you never shot a gun in your life, and you know.
Oh, is that so? Why, shucks. Didn't I ever tell you about the time I was known as Gun McGee, the 2-gun gambler of Hooper's Gulch?
Let me show you how I used to mow down them horse feet. How much for 5 shots, Bud?
Oh, now, McGee, are you going to...
Two bits, brother. Game of skill, nothing like it to develop a steady-handed and iron nerve. 10 shots for 25 cents. Lady want to shoot first? All right, here you are, lady.
Oh, no, I don't.
Come on now, Molly. Shucks. What was your name, Molly, first? You're a natural gun moll, baby. She loaded, Bud?
The dog's head, Doc. No, hold it in the other hand, lady.
Oh, like
Here,
this.
here, let me show you, Molly. Like this, see? The stock close to your shoulder, left hand here, right hand here, and don't squeeze the trigger.
Don't squeeze the trigger.
No, yank it.
Hey, brother, that is...
Oh, who's doing this, Bud? Now get a line on them clay pipes or them ball targets, Molly, and shut your eyes.
Shut my eyes.
Yeah, and then give the trigger a yank.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you got the idea? When you shoot, slide this thing down and back, and she's loaded again. Now, go ahead.
All right, McGee. Here goes.
There.
Can I open my eyes now, McGee?
You done all right, too, Molly. You busted 3 clay pipes.
And I was aiming at the rabbits.
Now, let me show you how it ought to be done. How much for hitting the gong 10 out of 10, Bud?
Oh, now, McGee, you can't.
Hey, fuck to you, brother. Cigar to anybody else.
Oh, a wise guy, huh? Well, I'll show you. Now, give me a loaded one, Bud, and no blanks, another.
Okay, Doc. You better tell me what you're aiming at. It's my $5, you know.
Don't laugh, Bud, don't laugh. You ever hear of Annie Oakley?
Yeah, sure. She's the greatest shot that ever lived.
Well, I'm Fibber McGee, the terror of the targets, and Annie doesn't live here anymore. Out of the way there now, Bud. I'm taking the left-hand target there.
Be careful now, McGee.
You watch this, Molly.
Oh, my, he never shot a gun in his whole life.
1, 2, 3,
Oh, my.
4,
Look at that.
5,
Dear, oh, dear.
6,
Well, I'll be...
7, 8, 9, 10.
Say, who are you, Doc? Where'd you learn to shoot?
My, McGee, it's wonderful you were.
Keep your $5, Bud. You're awful easy took. Come on, Molly, let's
My, McGee, you never told me you was a crack shot. It was wonderful.
Why, shucks, that was nothing. You should have seen the time I trimmed Willie Prim's mustache with a 45 at a distance of 92 foot. With one hand blindfolded behind me, Oh, hello there, son.
Hey, mister,
Huh?
I lost my quarter. You lost your quarter? McGee, did you give the lad a quarter?
Well,
He gave me a quarter behind the gallery, and he hit the gong with my bean shooter every time he shot. What? I hit every time, too, didn't I?
well, shucks, Bud, you hadn't ought to. Hey, Molly, where are you going?
Well, the little things that Fibber says he used to do were largely a matter of imagination. But to Lynn Martin, the little girl with the grown-up voice, the little things you used to do are true enough. Lynn Martin.
Those ashes on the floor, the way you slam the door, I miss them when the day is through. When I sit alone and think of you, and the little things you used to do. The spot upon your tie, the way that you would lie when I found out you'd been untrue. You will never know how much I long for the little things you used to do. All your
take just a moment to tell you what Johnson's Auto Cleaner at Auto Wax can do for you.
Hey, Harpo, I ever tell you what Johnson's Auto Wax did for me? When I was down...
No, and my name is not Harpo. Don't you know yet who I am?
Oh, sure. You're Harpo Wilcox, the polo player. You think.
Oh, I see.
Hoof beat Harpo, the heavy-handed horseman. But as I was saying, Harpo, I ever tell you about the time I and my party was surrounded by the deadly Gibberhoo Indians into the jungles of the Amazon?
No, and I don't want to hear
Well,
it.
sir, there we was. Rifles lost into the swamp, and all we had for to save our lives was 2 cans of Johnson's Auto Cleaner and a dozen bows and 50 arrows we'd swiped from the Indians. So, you know what we done?
No, but we haven't got
Well,
time
sir,
now.
at my suggestion, we smeared Johnson's Auto Wax onto the arrowheads and shot 'em at the Indians. Huh. Boy, did that polish 'em off. Well,
Come back here and run over this song with me.
okay, but I'd rather run over Harpo with the steamroller. Well, he's always busting in.
Well, we refuse to back up Pipper's claim that Johnson's Auto Cleaner and Auto Wax will save your life. But we know it will save you time, expense, and labor. In a few minutes, you're going to hear from Pipper and Molly again. But right now, let me point out that if you have an old car that's ceased to look its best, or a new car that's beginning to lose its sparkle, you will be amazed at how quickly and easily you can restore the finish with Johnson's sensational new auto cleaner. Actually, it seems to work like magic, for the entire principle is new and totally unlike any cleaner you may have tried before. Johnson's cleaner is much quicker to use, takes much less muscle work, and positively will not injure the finish in any way. All you do is rub the creamy white liquid over the surface. Then with a dry cloth, you wipe it off. You'll be astonished to see a complete transformation from a dull finish to one that gleams and glitters in the sunlight. For Johnson's cleaner actually polishes as it wipes away every speck of dirt and gummy road film. Try it. You'll be mighty glad you did. Well, now let's see what that song is that Pipper and Molly were practicing. What is it, Molly?
Don't tell him, Molly, don't tell him. You just twist it around so you can get in something about Johnson's Auto Wax. The name of the song is, No Matter How Hard You Rub, Roscoe, You Can't Harm the Finish.
Oh, go on. I don't believe that's the name of it at all.
Oh, you're smarter than I give you credit for. Give us a chord, Marshmallow. That's fine. Why don't you play like that all the time? She was an acrobat's daughter. Her folks were the bounding McGee. She turned 21 and married the son of the man on the flying trapeze. Take it away, Molly.
The wedding was held in the circus for all the spectators to see. And when they were wed, they both stood on their head.
An acrobat's daughter was she.
She could do a backflip,
That's the stuff.
acrobatic grace.
An F-up, a trip-up, without landing on her face.
She could do contortions with fortunes of her spelling at the knee.
You'd wonder, by thunder, which end you would rather see.
McGee?
Oh, she was an acrobat's daughter.
Her best were the little brain fleas.
She taught them some facts.
How about Johnson's Wax?
Get out of here, Harpo. This is my trapeze.
Oh, dressed up in her tight trim with spangles.
She looked just as cute as could be.
But
Carry
she
the
feared
body.
they might hear, so she carried the stairs.
An acrobat's daughter was she.
And with a long look at the script and the short wave from the engineer, we find ourselves, oddly enough, back at the circus, where Molly and Pipper are examining the deep-sea curiosities in the sideshow.
Oh, shucks, son. You ain't got nothing here I ain't seen before.
Oh, now, McGee, are you...
Oh, what do you got? Couple of starfish, octopus, Hey, what's that thing?
That is the case there?
Yeah.
Well, that's the species of gas in Guatemala. And here's to the timbers and rocks at the bottom of the ocean. Oh, a limpet.
A whip?
A limpet.
A limpet.
A whippet?
Limpet.
Hey, what's this? A swordfish, huh?
What did you think it was, McGee? A raspberry jellyfish?
No, that's a swordfish. Why?
Well, you got the wrong name on the case then, son. It says Exiphius gladiolis.
You wouldn't understand it, McGee. It's deep, see?
Oh, sure.
And that's the name in Latin for swordfish.
Oh.
Exiphius gladius.
Go on. Don't tell me them fish talk Latin, bud. With that there pointed chin on him, he'd be lucky to blow bubbles.
You'll have to excuse him, mister. He's real ignorant here about the ring fight.
Well, whatever. I was in the army myself. But I do know all about this here exhibit. Them sport fish. I fought a duel with one once. Want to hear about it?
No, let it go.
Well, sir, it was whilst I was down now.
Will you please
I'm
stop?
afraid I can't listen long anyway. I'm packing up and selling out today.
That is what this business from.
Yes, people want freaks, hoochie-coochie. As soon as it'll...
Why, that's too bad.
Shucks, bud. All you got to do is get some showmanship into this joint. For instance, you cut the octopus in two, join it onto the chart, and call it the deadly octochart of the Indian Ocean. Or if you got to have a Latin name for it, Chartus ferocious Indianapolis. You hear that, Molly? I said,
What ain't funny?
okay. But as I was saying about my duel with the sport fish, I was the skipper of the Molly McGee that time, Molly, before I'd ever met you.
Oh, go on with you, McGee. If you never met me, how could you name a boat?
You was the gal of my
I thought
dreams.
for sure the Mary was going to slow
Well,
the
sir,
first
say, if
If you'll
snowstorm.
excuse me, I'll be...
Yes, you'll be interested in this, buddy. You see, all us fellas was real crazy about fishing down there in Tampa.
Sure. Kind of temperamental you are.
Yeah, I mean, no. Oh, well, all us fellas had a fishing and a fencing club. The CHTF club. And as I...
What club?
The CHTF club. You see, we had to bring in at least the fins of every fish we caught for food. So we called the club the CHTF.
Meaning what?
You can't harm the fin. Get away from here, Harpo. I said fins, not fins. Well, sir, I always fished with Joe Blunt, who was almost as good a fisherman as what I was, and pretty near as good a fencer.
How much did you charge to fix the fence, McGee?
That's better. We didn't fix fences. We fished. We fished with sport.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, to this day, Joe comes up to me and he says, Stabber, he says. Who? Stabber. Stabber McGee, the sport fish player of the South Sea. Well, Joe comes up to me and he says, Stabber, he says. What? I said. Sticking a 2-ton hammerhead shark onto a hook for bait. What you want, I said. Well, sir, says he. Whilst we're waiting to get to the fishing ground, how about a little fencing bout on the deck for fun and exercise? Okay, says I, juggling a couple of spare anchors to limber up my wrist.
Well, why didn't you go down and stick your head in the flywheel to loosen up your neck?
Fencers don't use neck muscles much more. Well, sir, Joe Blump went to get the sword.
You say that Joe Bump was a sportsman too?
Blump was his name, not Blump. Well, G-H-C-U-K-Y-W-J-Z. Well, he was a Czechoslovakian fellow. He spelled it kind of funny. Well, sir, up he come with the swords, and we start fencing. I was slowly pressing Joe back, when all of a sudden, Joe hollers out, real painful. And there was a giant swordfish that had leapt over the rail behind him and struck Joe into the McGee shoulder. Well, sir, I started picking up Joe's shoulder when the swordfish come for me. So I get into fencing position, and there I was, standing there slim and green, the picture of courage and strength. And all of a sudden, he lunges at me.
Oh, he brought his own lunch. You get it, McGee? I said.
Ain't funny, Molly. Besides, I need all my wits to fight this here fish. Well, sir, on he comes, slipping along the deck real uncanny, and little green eyes fixed onto mine, trying to hypnotize me. Up he riz, on his tail, 15 foot high. Hi, men. Then, like lightning, the swordfish attacked. I parried. He cut. I painted.
And away?
No, I mean I painted into my fence. I pretended to make a pass at him and didn't. Well, sir, for 3 hours and 8 minutes, we hit like fence and fools. Cut, stab, and thrust them all into a certain sight. Then I got mad. Like lightning, I slashed at him. Under a hill, over a pin, on his tail, slicing off scales by the thousand. Till suddenly, I made one terrible thrust, and I had my sword right at his throat. When I seen the utter despair in his eyes, I didn't have the heart to kill him. So I stepped back and bowed. Yeah? I stepped back, wiped my sword, bowed. The swordfish gave me one heart-busted look out of his little green eyes, slipped over to the cabin door, jabs his sword into it, breaks it off at the nose, slapped back and bowed to me, and then bowed to you. We both bowed back with a kind of a funny little moan. The swordfish curtsied and hurled himself back into the ocean. I never fished no more in them waters. Why not, McGee? Too easy. That swordfish must have passed the word about me to Jimmy Frank. Because always after that, they never put up a fight. They just swim out and jab their swords into the side of my boat, waiting to be hauled in. Why, the last trip I made, I got back to Tampa with 47 swordfish sticking into the side of the boat. Looked like a sea-going porcupine. That's why I says, Bud, that... That's why I says that I never... Don't wake him up. He's asleep in the deep. That's all we appreciate.
And discolorations with Johnson's easy-to-use auto cleaner. Now, whether your car is new or old, you can protect that finish from rain, sun, and sticky road film by giving it a beautiful coat of Johnson's time-saving, car-saving auto wax. It's so easy to apply, gives sparkle and brilliance, yet dries to a hard, flint-like armor that dust and dirt will not stick to. That's why a Johnson Wax car doesn't have to be washed nearly as often. And that's why a Johnson Wax car brings you more money at the time of resale. Just let me read you a letter from Mr. Henry Fonder Maiden, prominent San Francisco used car dealer. He says, after trying many cleaners and polishes, we find the best and quickest results are obtained with Johnson's cleaner and Johnson's automobile wax. It not only makes our cars look like new, but requires the least effort and time. So, if you want a car with a surface as smooth and bright as polished glass, let me urge you to take advantage of this generous free offer, good in the United States and Canada. Go to your regular hardware store or wax dealer. Buy Johnson's Auto Wax and Cleaner at the special low price of 98 cents and receive free a regular 40-cent can of black touch-up enamel. Or let your garage or service station wax your car. But insist on Johnson's Auto Wax and Auto Cleaner. Remember, you have a rhythmical, riotous rendezvous with the many-sided McGees next Monday evening at this hour. When we're
You betcha, folks. And the only thing that me and
Harlow.
The only thing me and Polo here can say at the end of one of these programs that won't spoil them is Johnson's Auto Cleaner, because it will not harm the finish. That it, Harper, will you leave me alone?
McGee, will you sit down and let Mr. Wilcox say good night?
Okay, I was just helping him.
Well, until next Monday night, then, at this same hour, I give you the old lang sign-off. Join us again then when we'll have Marcelli's music louder, Fibber's stories stronger, Molly's kibitzing better, and Johnson's auto cleaner. This is Harlow Wilcox. Smiling through, I hope. Good night. This program came to you from our Chicago studios. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
You are listening, friends, to WLS, the voice of Prairie Farmer, America's oldest farm paper.
Oh, shit. Copyright infringement. No, they got a lockdown on that motherfucker. Somebody's still got to be making money on that 500 years later.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Once again, your neighborhood blue coal dealer brings you the thrilling adventures of the Shadow, the hard and relentless fight of one man against the forces of evil. These dramatists. The Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The script is by Don Quinn and Phil Wesley. Music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. Your kitchen linoleum probably gets more steady wear than any other floor in the house, and yet it's so easy to keep it looking beautiful. Just use Johnson's self-polishing glow coat. Your linoleum will be brighter and cleaner, and your kitchen will be a more cheerful place to work. The new glow coat shines nearly twice as bright as ever before, and as you know, the brighter the shine, the cleaner the kitchen. Glow coat makes floor cleaning problems simple, too. Dust, dirt, and spilled things can be whisked off a glow-coated surface with just a wipe of a damp cloth. Johnson's self-polishing glow coat protects your linoleum from wear and scuffing. That shining coat of hard, gleaming wax actually keeps your feet off the floor. You walk on glow coat, not on the linoleum. No wonder it makes the linoleum last longer. Make your kitchen brighter, more cheerful. Use Johnson's self-polishing glow coat to bring out the beauty of your home.
Look on the bright side, shine up the right side, bring out the beauty of home.
Did you ever get a circular in the mail that said, and I probably misquote, "We pay big money for old books"? Well, it's that sort of thing that has sent our Mr. McGee of 79 Wistful Vista pursuing many a wild goose. Listen to him now as we join Fibber McGee and Molly.
Hey, Molly, did you see this circular that just come in the mail? It says there's a fortune in books.
I don't believe it. Uncle Dennis ran one for several months, and he spent all his profits bailing himself out of jail.
Oh, I don't mean handbooks. This guy ain't a bookie. He's a collector.
So was Uncle Dennis. He'd collect $100 and hand it right over to a bailiff. I told him 100 times he shouldn't be.
You don't understand, kiddo. Neither do I. Look. This circular says thousands of people who read this circular have books in their attics and basements which are eagerly sought by collectors.
Oh, books.
Yeah, books. I wonder if we got any book in the attic which would be eagerly sought by a collector. It'd have to be kind of rare, I suppose.
Well, we've got some up there by Mary Roberts Rhinestone, and, yes, and there's some by Earl Stanley Gander up there.
Gardner, Snooky. A gander is a buck duck. Besides, by rare books, I mean books that are scarce, old books that you can't buy anymore. Them are the ones that are eagerly sought by collectors. For instance, this circular says there's a great demand right now for Horatio Alger books.
Oh, Horatio Alger.
Yeah.
Heavenly days. Who'd want to read that stuff now?
Yeah.
Phil the Fiddler, Paul the Peddler, Bill the butcher. Which reminds me, did you pay the butcher bill?
Yeah, but listen, I got an idea.
I found $5 in an old sugar bowl today.
Oh, good for you. Now, my idea is that
You
if
can have it if you'll forget this idea you have.
You don't even know what it is.
No, but you never had one yet that cost us less than $15, so we'll save 10.
But this will make a lot of dough, kiddo. Listen, the circular says that Horatio Alger books are eagerly sought by collectors. You see where it says that right here? Eagerly sought by collectors.
Yes, but...
I know where I can lay my chubby little mitts on 50 of them today, in half an hour.
What good is a project to us that lasts more than a half an hour?
Now get this, baby. I happened to drop into the book nook next to the Bonton this morning, and on the shelf that says any book here for 25 cents, there were dozens of Alger books.
Did he write that many?
My gosh, he must have wrote 100 of them. All with the same plot, too, practically.
Really?
There's always this poor but honest lad, disgustingly wholesome, who saves the banker's daughter from a runaway horse. He refuses to accept a gold watch as a reward, so the banker gives him a job as messenger boy at 50 cents a week, out of which Thrifty Joe saves 37 cents. In 110 pages, he saves up enough money to marry the banker's daughter and gets the gold watch for a wedding present. The snide little twerp plays it smart all the way.
It sounds a little dull, doesn't it? Didn't he ever write one where the boy saves a horse's daughter from a runaway banker?
Huh?
Or a banker's horse from a runaway daughter?
No, but in Tom the Bootblack... now, not a word about this to anybody, Snooky. This is my private gold mine, and I don't want any claim jumpers.
I'll be Mum Chum. Come in. Oh, hello there, Mr. Oldtimer.
Oh, hi, Oldtimer. I'd ask you to sit down, but we're on our way downtown to the book nook. Gotta buy some books.
Good for you, Johnny. Nothing like reading good books. I'll never forget what one of my old teachers said about reading.
What did she say, Mr. Oldtimer?
Well, sir, daughter, she just stood there with the sun streaming in the schoolhouse window, casting a kind of a soft glow over her head, and says, "You little whippersnapper, you will finish reading A Tale of Two Cities, or you'll be in the 6th grade for the next 10 years.
Did you, or were you?
I was. But since then, I've done a lot of reading, kids. Just last night, I was sitting in my room reading to myself in the dark, and all at once...
Wait a minute now. How can you read in the dark?
Why, that's simple, daughter. Just turn on the light.
But if you turned on the light, you weren't in the dark.
Oh, yes, I was. The bulb was burned out, Johnny.
Well, if you turned on the light and it was burned out, how could you still read?
Had a flashlight.
Oh. Well, that's different.
Nope. The batteries was dead.
Now, this is nonsensical, Mr. Oldtimer, sitting there reading in a dark room. What were you reading?
A neon hosiery sign across the street, daughter. I love neon. Ever stop to think what neon spells backwards? It spells knowing. And no one loves neon like I do. Some of them colors...
Now, if you'll excuse us, Oldtimer, we gotta go down and buy some books.
Aye, certainly, Johnny, and I'm proud of you for doing it. I don't care much for books myself. Started one last week and just had to quit it.
Why?
Too much printing in it. The pages was all full of words.
Well, some books are like that, Oldtimer. You ought to try a book of cigarette papers.
Well, this was the most mixed-up yarn I ever read, kid.
Yeah?
Started out with a character named Aardvark and a feller named Ab, and just went no place from there.
Well, who wrote the book?
Oh, some fella named Webster. He'll never get any place, though. He'll never get any place. His plots don't hold up.
That was Noah Webster, Oldtimer. He quit writing books after that and started a dance band.
He did?
Haven't you heard of Noah's Ark?
Oh, dear.
Noah's Ark?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, Johnny, but that ain't the way I heard it.
I didn't think it would be.
Nope, the way I heard it, one feller says to t'other feller, he says, what do they mean when they say a man is presidential timber? Well, says t'other feller, they mean he can look green and act grown. He ain't too sappy or shady. He don't mind getting the bird. He knows when to bow and leave, and he can bark when necessary. Spends a lot of time on the stump, keeps his trunk packed, and falls the right way when they give him the axe. Well, so long, kid.
Billy Mills applause for the orchestra, and now is the hour.
Now, look, Snook. When we get in this book nook, we got to play it kind of cagey, see? We ain't the least bit interested in buying any old Horatio K. algebra books, see?
Why, we are, too. That's why we came down here, to buy up all the old algebra books he had.
Yeah, sure. That is what we come down here for, but we don't want the guy to know it, see? He'll hike the price on us. We got to act like we're not interested.
Well, all right, but it seems a little dishonest.
Huh?
I would probably blush every time he looks at me.
You do that. You look pretty when you blush. That'll distract his attention off of me. Come on, let's go in.
Heavenly days, look at all the books. Who writes all those things? We certainly haven't had that many secretaries of state.
Now, let's just pretend we're browsing, kiddo.
Why pretend anything? The proprietor isn't paying any attention to us.
Oh, no. You slip a $10 book under your coat and start to walk out. He don't know we're here like MacArthur don't know he's being mentioned as a candidate. You try to take a book...
Oh, McGee, look who just came in. Mr. Williams, the weatherman. Hello, Mr. Williams.
Oh, hi, Foggy, old man.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Hello, McGee. If you'll pardon my saying so, it's lovely weather we're having, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Mr. Williams.
You a book lover like us, Foggy?
Yes, in a way, McGee. I'm also an author of sorts.
Heavenly days, an author.
Well.
You mean you wrote a book, Mr. Williams?
Yes, I did. It was about an expedition I made 4 years ago to the interior of Africa, studying equatorial weather. Very adventuresome trip, too.
Any trouble with natives, Fog?
One of our members was boiled and eaten by cannibals.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, we buried his sun helmet and put a simple little marker over it. Stuart Jones, that was.
How terrible. What did you write on the marker?
And just one word, stew.
How about wild game, Foggy?
Oh, we had some splendid ones, McGee. One night I was holding a full house, aces over kings.
No.
Oh, you mean animals. Well, one day in the dense jungle, I was taking humidity recordings when I was charged by an enraged bull elephant.
Boy.
I fled for my life, but tripped over a pygmy, fell, and fractured my hygrometer.
Oh.
Yes, I did. As I lay there helpless, I saw this huge bull loom over me, ready to stamp out my life.
Well, I'd have grabbed his tusks and tried to throw the bull.
I'm sure you would.
Oh, my goodness. What happened, Mr. Williams? What'd you do?
Well, suddenly a strange look came into the elephant's eyes.
Huh?
Gently, he wrapped his trunk about me and carried me tenderly back to camp.
Oh.
He put me lightly down on the grass, and before he left, he stood over me a moment with tears in his eyes. And with the soft tip of his trunk, caressed a Dewey button I happened to be wearing.
Darn good thing for you, Foggy, they didn't have wild donkeys in Africa.
Yes. Well, I must be getting along. Good day, probably.
So long, Foggy. I could have told that yarn a lot better. I'd have made it a laughing hyena instead of an elephant. Oh, here comes the proprietor, Molly. Now, play it cagey.
All right.
Hi, Bud. Mind if we just browse around a little?
Oh, it's quite all right, mister. Look around all you like. You interested in fiction or non-fiction?
Whichever Horatio Alger is, we're not interested in that.
Oh.
Am I being cagey enough, McGee?
She likes detective stories, Bud, but she always shuts her eyes when she comes to the murder part, so she never does seem to find out.
Oh, excuse me, folks. There's my telephone.
Now, go ahead, Buster. We'll just browse around.
Button up. Yep. No, ma'am. It ain't a cookbook, and it ain't Crisco. It's the Count of Monte Cristo. Now, don't mention it, ma'am. Sure get some dumb questions from folks.
I'll bet you do at that, Bud. Hey, are all these books down on this table selling for 2 bits?
Well, to tell the truth, they're not selling at all. But I'm asking 2 bits for them.
Oh.
Well, if you folks want anything, I just call.
We will.
Yeah.
Oh, look, dearie, here's a whole pile of old Horatio Alger books, but who'd want any of those old things? Not us, Albert.
No, we wouldn't want any of those
Well,
books.
hello there, pal. Hi, Molly. Thought I recognized those voices.
Oh, hi, Omaha.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox. What are you reading?
That's a Western story. It's called Roaring Six Guns by Ramrod Riggs. Ever read it?
No, I don't believe so, Junior. I got a new one last week, though, but it wasn't what I wanted.
He bought a book called Longhorn Steers, Mr. Wilcox, and it turned out to be a book on how to play the trombone.
Well, this Ramrod Riggs really knows the Old West. I just got to where Tex Vanguard, the hero, knocks a man down for insulting the new school teacher in front of the Last Chance Saloon.
Yeah, they all start out like that. He'll marry her on page 248.
I doubt it very much. This is a man teacher.
Oh, no.
Town was too tough for decent women. Shall I read you some of it?
Well...
No, thanks, Omaha. I don't
Hey,
think...
just listen to this. This is real literature.
Yeah?
The motley crowd cowered before Black Pete's menacing guns as he shot 2 faro dealers and leered at Klondike Kate, the gambler's daughter. Suddenly, a calm, gray-eyed figure sauntered up to the bar, and a hush fell over the room.
I know, Martha Graham.
It was Tex Vanguard, U.S. Marshal from Dodge City, the terror of evildoers and bringer of law and order to the raw frontier.
That's Randolph Scott. I'd know him anyplace.
Suddenly, Black Pete's gun barrel rose, and Tex Vanguard found himself staring into the small, black, deadly tunnel which had snuffed out the life of your kitchen linoleum can be preserved and beautified so easily with Johnson's self-polishing glow coat.
What?
Hey, wait a minute. Is that in there?
Huh? Oh, excuse me. I'm using a Johnson's glow coat circular for a bookmark, and I must have jumped over to that.
Oh.
Anyway, the book says there was a blur of action as Vanguard went for his gun. 4 shots roared, and the lifeless figure of Black Pete slumped to the floor coverings of linoleum, which are protected by Johnson's glow coat. They're so much easier to keep clean because spilled things are easily wiped up with a damp cloth.
Mr. Wilcox, the story.
Oh, yes. Well, just at that moment, Tex Vanguard felt a gun muzzle prodding him in the back. And with no rubbing and no buffing, Glow dries to a handsome mirror-like polish in 20 minutes or less.
Hey, Waxy.
Yes, pal.
Just read quietly to yourself for a while, will you?
Sure. We may want to read that book ourselves sometime.
Yeah?
And we want it to be a surprise when Tex Vanguard traps the rustlers in their hideaway and cleans them out with a damp cloth after shooting them full of glow coat.
Why, of course. Here, you take the book.
But you haven't finished it, Waxy.
Oh, I don't want to. I'd rather read the Johnson's Glow Coat Circular. To me, it's a lot more exciting.
Oh.
See you later, folks.
Hey, Molly, I got an idea.
Yes?
Look, you go to the other end of the store and start talking to the owner, see? Distract his attention so I can look over these algebra books.
Too late, dearie. Here he comes.
Huh? Oh, hey, Bob, these old algebra books are pretty junky looking. How much are they? Nickel apiece?
Nope. 10 cents, mister.
Oh.
Frankly, they ain't worth it, but I can't handle them for any less.
Hey, Molly, how about some of these old algebra books for a dime apiece?
No, we wouldn't want them.
I should say not.
Well, who would?
Not me. But I'll take them just to give you more room on the shelves, Bud.
Well, now, that's mighty neighborly of you, mister. Let me see, there's about 108 of them up there. You can take the whole lot for $10.
$8.
$9.
$9.50.
10?
$10.50.
11. And that's my last offer.
Okay, $11. But you drive a hard bargain, mister. Well, I'll get some cord bottle. The King's Men and Two Things to Worry About.
Worry, 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 worry. I've got me double trouble. Worry, 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 worry. My cares all come in pairs. I got two things to worry about. Either you're mine or you're not. And if you're mine, I haven't got to worry. But on the other hand, if you're not, I got two things to worry about. Either you change or you don't. Now if you change, I haven't got to worry. But on the other hand, if you don't, then pity me, watch me sink, till I'm hanging on the brink. But before my worries all are over, I got two things to worry about. Either I live or I don't. And if I don't, I haven't got to worry. But on the other hand, if I do, there's two things to worry about. Me and you, just two little things to worry about. Either you're mine or you're not. Now, if you're mine, I haven't got to worry. But on the other hand, if you're not, then there's two little things to worry about. Either you change or you don't. If you change, I haven't got to worry. But on the other hand, if you don't, then pity me, watch me sink, till I teeter on the very brink. And then before my worries all are over, there's two little things to worry about. Either I live or I don't. Now if I don't, I haven't got to worry. Well, on the other hand, if I do, I've still got two things to worry about. One's me, the other is you. Worry, 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 worry about me. And you.
Well, now that we're home with these books, what have you got?
A sore arm from lugging these books. You'll find out what I got, though, when that book collector gets here. I phoned him from the drugstore and told him I had a collection of algebra books that was a collector's dream.
I think you got your money's worth all right. The titles alone, you said.
Now stand back, kiddo. Here comes opportunity. Now, come in.
Oh, it's Dr. Gamble, McGee. Come in, Doctor.
Hello, Molly. And good day to you, drumhead.
Hi, Phil Pitcher. I thought you were somebody important, but come on in anyway.
If I were somebody important, why would I be calling on you, Pop-Up?
We thought you were a book collector, Doctor. He was expecting one.
And why not? He's had every other kind of collector on his trail. Why, he's... Hey, where'd you get the pile of penny dreadfuls, Dreadful?
I bought them, Fatso, at the Book Nook, next to the Bonton. There's a guy coming over here to buy
Let me see those. Horatio Alger.
Betcha.
Great Scott, I haven't seen books like these since my kid days.
You never had any kid days, and you know it. You were born at the age of 42 with a gold probe in your mouth, and you've been...
Aren't these titles wonderful, Molly? Look at this. Do or Die, Paul Pearson's Pluck, Bootblack the Banker.
Oh, that's a great title. All a boy had to do to get rich in those days was invest in a box of shoe polish and a brush and wait.
What's so different about that? Doc Gamble started out with a $1 watch and a calomel tablet, and look at him now.
Oh, McGee.
That's not true, and he knows it. I had a thermometer, too, when I started out.
I'll say you had a thermometer. The only thermometer I ever saw that had 3 degrees of fever painted right on it. You got rich with that
Now,
thermometer.
McGee, stop it. Dr. Gamble isn't rich.
Certainly not. Just handsome and talented.
Oh.
Say, look at this one, Molly. Ned the Newsboy. There's the book that changed my whole career.
Changed your career? What happened? You cut your thumb turning the pages and decided to take up medicine?
No, I was working as a fire watcher for the Forest Service, and while I was reading this book, 300 acres of timber burned up.
Well, McGee expects these books to change his career, too, Doctor. We're going to be rich any minute now.
Oh, I hope not. I like McGee just as he is.
Do you really, Doc?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do, McGee. Dumb, floundering, inconsistent, rude, and uncouth.
I'm as couth as you are.
When I think what you'd be like if you had money, I shudder. And when I shudder, walls crack for miles around.
Oh, now, you wouldn't mind if we got wealthy, Doctor. we'd still come to you with our troubles.
Yeah, and speaking of troubles, I never will forget the time I was working in that clothing store back in Peoria. I had more than...
You never told me you worked in a clothing store, McGee.
I never told you about that.
You never did, no.
Well, sir, I was a clerk in this clothing store, see, specializing in sweaters and sport coats. I sold a guy a cashmere sweater and a check coat one day, and he gave me a check for the check coat, but he paid me cash for the cashmere. Well, sir, when I give the cash to the bank cashier and chuck this chap's check on the counter for cashing, the cashier checked the cash in his check cashing account and double-checked the check against the check stubs and found the check checker had failed to check the exchequer and there wasn't enough cash to cash the check I got for the check coat, so the chump chucked the check back to me and checked out the door. This must be the guy. Remember now, we don't want to part of these books, Molly. Make him bid 'em up, see?
All right, come in.
Good day. I'm looking for a Mr. Fibber McGee, incredibly enough.
Come right in, Bud. I'm Fibber McGee.
Thank you.
And this is my wife, Mrs. McGee.
How do you do, I'm sure.
And this is Dr. Gamble, Bud, in case you ever want your appendix taken out and a scar left on your tummy that looks like you've been hit by a road scraper.
How do you do, sir?
I've heard a lot about you, Doctor. I'm K. Stanley Flyleaf, the book collector.
Oh, yes, I've heard of you, too. One of the country's leading bibliophiles.
Let him show you his bibs and files later on. We got business here.
You're the gentleman who called me and said he had a selection of Algers?
Oh, yes, he's the one, all right, sir. There they are, right there on the table.
Ah, yes. Now, if you don't mind while I...
Oh, sure, help yourself.
Oh.
Huh?
These are not first editions.
What?
In fact, none of them is.
What's that got to do with it? They're Horatio Alger books, aren't they?
Oh, certainly, but I can pick Algers like this up in any bookstore for 3 cents apiece.
3 cents?
These are worthless.
Oh, but he thought...
I rather doubt it, madam. And I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. Good day, sir. Good day, Doctor.
Good day. Been nice knowing you.
Hey, watch out for that doorstop, Bud. It's right in the door. You'll fall. Oh.
Heavenly days. I'm so sorry, Mr. Flyleaf. Are you hurt?
No, he isn't hurt, are you, Flyleaf? Are you hurt, Flyleaf?
He's dead.
What's he staring at?
That old book we've been using as a doorstop. What's wrong, Bud?
I say, why didn't you show me this?
Why?
This is a first edition of Uncle Tom's Cabin. Harriet Beecher Stowe. Very rare. Will you sell me this?
Sell that? Of course not, Bud. We need that book. We lean it against the door to hold it open whenever we do it.
Oh, but it's worth $200, McGee.
What?
$200? Oh, just make out the check to F. McGee, Bud. For that kind of dough, I'll lean against the door myself.
I suppose I'm a little prejudiced, but I just don't understand how anyone could permit her kitchen linoleum or other floors to be anything but clean and bright and shining. It's so easy to make floors glow and gleam with Johnson's self-polishing glow coat. There's no rubbing or buffing. All you have to do is apply and let dry. You'll be proud of that rich, new floor beauty every time you walk across it. A shining coat of glow coat makes your floors easy to keep clean, too. Dust, dirt, and spilled things can be whisked away with just a wipe of a damp cloth. Johnson's self-polishing glow coat also protects your floors from wear and scuffing. That glowing protective wax coat can take an awful beating and still come up shining. Think about it for a minute, then make up your mind to give your floors the added shining beauty that comes with Johnson's self-polishing glow coat. Try glow coat and enjoy the easy way to bring out the beauty of the home.
Look on the right side, shine up the right side, bring out the beauty of the home.
Oh, these Alger books are wonderful, McGee. Here's one about a boy who rescued a millionaire's baby from under the wheels of a horse car.
Oh, that stuff's dated, Molly.
You think so?
Why, certainly. That rescue stuff's no good anymore. My gosh, I yanked a guy out from under the wheels of a 10-ton truck one time, and what did I get? A poke in the nose.
A poke in the nose?
Yes.
Heavenly days, why?
He was trying to change a tire, and I was the third guy that rescued him.
Oh.
Good night.
Good night, all.
The makers of Johnson's Wax Products, Racine, Wisconsin, bring you Fibber McGee and Molly every Tuesday night. Be with us again next week, won't you? Good night.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Take the shuffle. Harder to Kennedy to flag you. Despite. Oh wait, shit. No way that one.
In a moment, Act 1 of a strange...
M-B-U-L-O-V-A, Boulevard, what's time?
The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson Wax Products for home and industry present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. You know that old expression, beauty is but skin deep? Well, like many of our proverbs, it's both true and untrue. Great beauty, whether it's in a person, a rose, or a chair, comes from deep inside as an expression of character and inner quality. But you'd be surprised how much beauty you can add to many things and how much quality you can bring out by giving them a skin-deep polish with Johnson's Wax. Try it for yourself. Take a room that hasn't been waxed at all. And then Johnson waxed the floors, furniture and woodwork, the windowsills, Venetian blinds, picture frames, parchment lampshades, and ornaments. I think you'll be astonished at the difference in beauty alone. And on top of that, remember that the main purpose of wax is protection of surfaces against dirt, wear, and moisture, to make them last and to preserve their beauty. Those are the main reasons why good housekeepers everywhere have adopted the wax housekeeping method with genuine Johnson's Wax, paste, liquid, or cream. Mr. and Mrs. Fibber McGee of 79 Wistful Vista have just had a visitor, one of the city's most eminent men of letters. He's gone now, and here reading the letters he left, we find Fibber McGee and Molly.
What's the mail, Molly?
Well, here's the notice from the gas company, the final one. Here's a postal from the Elks Club addressed to you.
For me, what's it say?
Special meeting of the executive committee Friday evening.
Oh, fine.
It says, don't come, you're not on it.
Hey, what's that big, important-looking envelope there?
A letter from the Red Cross. It's for you.
Oh, swell. Read that, Molly. I've been expecting that ever since
Well, it says, Dear Mr. McGee, thank you for again volunteering your help in the Red Cross War Fund Drive in your neighborhood.
Oh, fine.
I didn't know you asked for that job again, dearie.
Oh, sure I asked for it. I'm probably the only guy in town who can handle it.
Now, wait a minute.
Huh?
It says, however, we are unable to use your services this year, as we have already appointed someone to cover your district and...
What? Can't use my services?
That's what it says.
Well, that's gratitude for you. Year after year, I go out and work like a dog, barking at some people, wagging my tail at others, and what
How
happens?
many year after years, dearie?
Well, last year after, I did. Anyway, so what happens? They brush me off like the back of a neck in a barber shop. Point somebody else, eh? Some dummy who'll mess things all up and probably won't even collect half the quota. Can't use me, eh?
No,
Got somebody else, have they?
Yep.
Who?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Oh. No, that's different. Well, I'll just go along with you, Molly, and help you out, show you the ropes. I got some
Oh,
ideas.
you don't need to go, dearie. I'll manage all right. You just relax around here this afternoon.
Oh, you're no salesman, Molly. My gosh, I've had a lot of experience with this stuff.
Mrs. McGee, Mr. McGee. Hello, Alice, dear. Come in.
Hi, Alice.
Did you get your letter off the hall table, dear?
Yes, thank you. It was from Tommy Davis. You remember the sailor?
Oh, yeah, the kid we had for dinner.
Yeah.
Where is he now?
Well, he says his ship is laid up in San Francisco on account of they broke their rudder.
Broke their rudder what? Did you get it, kids? Their rudder what? It's a sort of a pun involving the similarity between rudder and their other, you see. Basically, of course, the misunderstanding
Ain't funny, McGee.
Ain't? Oh, well, it isn't so much what I say as the way I say it. You gotta watch my expression and see how I mug it up.
I'm almost afraid to ask because I think it has something to do with a cow, but what is a rudder anyway?
Well, it's a thing they steer a boat with, Mrs. McGee.
Oh, I thought that was the steerage.
Oh, certainly not. The steerage is where they put the steers on a cattle boat.
Oh, no. I think that's called a hornpipe, Mr. McGee.
Oh, sure it is. What was I thinking of? Much as I know about boats, too. I used to be lookout on a steamship on Lake Erie, Alice.
Oh?
Used to stand up there in the plow and keep an eye out for rocks.
You mean prow, Mr. McGee?
I sure was. Proud as a peacock. Standing there with the lives of the whole crew depending on me. They wanted to make me a bosun's mate, but I says no. I said, sorry, boys, I don't drink.
I tell you, Alice, he was quite a freshwater sailor. In fact, one of the freshest water sailors I ever met. I remember...
Oh, creepers, I almost forgot what I came down here for. Have you got a 3-cent stamp I could borrow?
Well, that depends, Alice. You got any security?
Oh, don't let him kid you, Alice. Help yourself out of the desk drawer. But don't take a 3 now. Take an airmail. It'll go faster.
Oh, but a 3 is all right. I'm always borrowing your stamp.
Go on. Take an airmail. There's only a nickel difference. What's a nickel to me?
50 cents.
Oh, no, folks. I won't take an airmail.
Stop arguing, Alice. Take an airmail. We got plenty.
Yes, but
Let's not fight over a few pennies, Alice. Take an airmail.
But...
Airmail.
Well, all right. Only this letter is only going downtown and...
Downtown?
Yes. It's my Red Cross War Fund donation. I'm mailing it in.
Red Cross? Hey, I'll take care of that for you, kid. Yes, sir. I and Mrs. McGee are in charge of collections in this neighborhood.
Oh, you are?
Yes, we are, dear. All except Mr. McGee. But I thought you donated at the plant, Alice. Didn't they have a...
I did, Mrs. McGee. All I could afford, I thought. But we heard from my cousin yesterday.
Oh?
He's been missing in action since Christmas. But the Red Cross has located him in a prisoner of war camp, and he's not even hurt.
Oh, how wonderful, Alice.
Gee, if it wasn't for the Red Cross, we still wouldn't know. I went right upstairs and broke my piggy bank. I don't really need a new dress anyway. I'll see you later.
Well, I better get my blanks together and the stickers for the windows and get started collecting.
Well, I'm ready anytime, baby. And if you're still in doubt about needing me along, that ought to answer your question. I just nabbed your first customer for you without even getting out of my chair.
Oh, dear.
Besides, I got a little angle that I want to...
Come in.
Hello, Molly. Hello, tiresome.
Oh. Come in, Dr. Gamble.
Yeah, sit down, tonsil tester. You out on an errand of mercy? Staying away from some poor guy so he can get well?
I'm just getting ready to start on my Red Cross drive, McGee. Can't stay but a minute.
Red Cross drive?
Yep. You see before you, unless your bifocals need adjusting again, a duly accredited captain of the Wistful Vista Red Cross drive in charge of District Number 42.
Oh, well, I'm a Red Cross captain, too, Dr. Gamble.
Yeah.
I've got District 43 right next to yours, I guess.
And don't go poking your big fat nose into our district either.
Our district?
Yeah.
I thought Molly was in charge of it. Did you know when they appointed you, my dear, that you'd have little lock pockets here along to insult your clients for you?
Well, McGee thought he ought to help me, Doctor, though frankly...
You're darn right I ought to help her. And we'll collect so much more than you hickory-dickory doctor, that you'll be coming home looking like a panhandler on Tobacco Road.
$5 says you don't, Noisy.
$5 says we do.
Register that wager, Molly. I don't mind admitting I'm on the short end of it.
Why, Doctor?
Well, with that sweet smile of yours to coax people with, and the colossal stug of little Herman here, you got the edge on me.
My colossal what?
Stug. S-T-U-G.
What's that?
If you'll pardon the expression, my dear, it's intestinal fortitude spelled backwards. And good luck with it.
Well, McGee, I can't quite see why you're so anxious to help me collect these Red Cross donations.
Well, you'll see, kiddo, you'll see. Now, look, when you ring the doorbell and ask for their donation, they'll invite us in, won't they?
Occasionally, I suppose.
Now, right then is when I go to work.
What?
That's when I give them my sales talk on the Magnifico low-freeze icebox. Available in 6, 8, and 12-foot cubic sizes. With a patent
Oh, no, McGee, no, please, no.
Billy Mills in the orchestra and two guitars.
McGee, darling, let's just stick to collecting for the Red Cross today, shall we?
Oh.
Don't try to sell any more low-freeze ice boxes.
Oh, shucks, it wasn't as if I wasn't doing the gals a favor. Blah, 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 blah. A low-freeze icebox that freezes vegetables and fruit instantly is one of the finest.
Yes? Are you Mrs. Henry Gunderson?
Yes.
We're Red Cross captains for this district, sis. Mr. and Mrs. McGee.
Here are the credentials, Mrs. Gunderson.
Oh, yes, thank you. I have the check ready for you, if you'll excuse me a moment.
Very cooperative woman. She'll be a cinch to order a Magnifico low-freeze icebox. I'll bet the built-in radio feature will appeal to her.
Yeah?
And the bushel-a-day ice cube attachment.
Look, dearie, let's just...
Here's my check, Mrs. McGee. The Red Cross has taken such good care of my boy Jimmy since he's been overseas that I've doubled my donation this year.
Oh, well, we appreciate that very much, Mrs. Gunderson.
Yeah, much obliged, Gundy. Now, one more thing. Would you be interested in an icebox that freezes vegetables and fruits instantly? Comes in 8, 12, and 16 cubic foot sizes, built-in radio and glass partitions that keep the onions from moving in on the butter?
I would indeed.
Huh? Oh, well. I'll put your name down with the number 1 priority. Our representative will call on you.
Thank you. Good day.
Mrs. Gunderson, I'll expect you on the 11th.
McGee, what is all this?
How much did she give you?
The check is for $60.
Wow. You only had her down for 30. I can put the other 30 in on the icebox.
No, you don't. Why, guess not. This is Red Cross money.
Well, anyway, it looks like I'd win that $5 from old Doc. Who are we calling on now?
Let me see the list. Oh, yes. Mr. Walter Sarpus.
Sarpus.
Sarpus. S-A-R-P-U-S. Sarpus. How about this silly old low-freeze icebox, McGee? Please listen up.
Well, what is it now? Can't a man get a little sleep in this neighborhood without every two-bit razor blade peddler sticking his big fat thumb on the door?
Now, just a dime.
Now, quiet, McGee. Are you Mr. Sarpus?
Who wants to know?
I do. I represent the Red Cross for this district, and I'd like to save you the trouble of mailing or bringing in your donation.
And who said I had any donations?
Oh, gonna be like that, are you, bud? Don't you realize...
Lady, will you please hide your face in your handbag a minute while I pop this little pipsqueak one in the nostrils?
No, I will not. I'm merely calling for your Red Cross donation, Mr. Sarpus. If you don't want to help, just say so, and you'll be perfectly within your rights. Do you have a son in the service?
No, I haven't.
Got a mother, Sarpus?
You leave my mother out of it.
Mr. Sarpus, there are several million men fighting for us who leave their mothers out of it. And the Red Cross is a mother to all of them. Come on, McGee, I guess we
Wait
don't
a
need
minute. Suppose I donate to the Red Cross. How do I know where my dough goes?
How do you know where your taxes go, Buck?
Government expenditures are on file in the Library of Congress.
So are the financial statements of the Red Cross.
No kidding? Well, nobody ever told me that before. Here's $25, and I do begrudge it. Now make it 50. Might as well begrudge a lot.
Well, nasty old pup, wasn't he?
Well, the poor man was sleeping. He had this $50 in his hand from the minute I said Red Cross. He just wanted to argue a little.
If you hadn't been with me, I'd have fed him a handful of knuckles.
Really?
Had a terrible time holding my temper. I saw how big he was. From then on, it was easy.
Why didn't you try to sell him an icebox?
Yeah, he didn't deserve one. This is a very special kind of an icebox, and there won't be enough for everybody that wants them. When you consider it's got a built-in radio on it, tuned so fine it'll throw the tenor out of a quartet, why, it's a very...
What was it, please?
Mrs. Smith, I'm Mrs. McGee.
Oh, yes, Mrs. McGee. The Red Cross called me, and I was expecting you to drop by. Here's my check, and I'm sorry it isn't more.
That's the spirit, sis. Now, would you be interested in a low-freeze icebox that freezes...
Is, this gentleman with you, Mrs. McGee?
Yes, he is, Mrs. Smith. My husband, Mr. McGee.
Delighted.
How do you do? As I was saying, Mrs. McGee, I'm sorry we couldn't give more to the Red Cross this year. When our daughter was in the hospital and there weren't enough nurses to go around, it was a Red Cross nurse's aide who stayed day and night with her.
Say, did you ever think of taking a Red Cross nurse's aid course yourself, Mrs. Smith?
Well, for goodness sake, can I?
Oh, sure you can, sis. I was going to take it myself, but I could never learn to read a thermometer. When you get 6 patients in a row with a temperature of 16 2/10, it scares the way out of you.
You can join my class, Mrs. Smith. I'll call on you in a day or so and tell you all about it.
Thank you so much. Good day.
And now about that icebox, Missy. It's got a built-in radio, an electric-eye door control, a gadget that will freeze enough... Did you see that panicky look in her face when she shut the door, Molly? She knew she wasn't going to be able to resist it. I'll put her down as a definite prospect.
McGee, I do wish you'd let me get through with my Red Cross business before you start tossing ice cubes at people. Or better still, say, why don't you run down to the Elks Club and play 15 or 20 games of billiards?
Oh, my gosh. 15 or 20 games of billiards. Why, that'd take all day.
Yes, I know.
Who lives here?
Well, according to my schedule, it's a Mr. Charles Tyner. He's new in the neighborhood.
Yeah?
Mr. Tyner, I'm collecting for the Red Cross.
Well, here's mine. $100. Good day.
Didn't have to twist his arm very hard, did you? That guy must be an upholsterer. He works on springs.
I like those fast ones. It doesn't give you a chance to start that low-freeze icebox routine of yours.
Who lives here?
Mrs. Frank Dixon. And don't keep asking me that, dearie. You'll hear me addressing them by name. Besides, I don't want to...
What was it, please?
Good day, Mrs. Dixon. I'm Mrs. McGee, captain of this district to collect Red Cross War Fund donations. Did they call you by phone?
Oh, yes, they did, Mrs. McGee. I was expecting you. But would you mind waiting just a minute? I have a visitor who will be leaving very shortly.
Oh, take your time, Dixie. Take your time. Rome wasn't built in a day. And Berlin won't be either.
Thank you. I won't be but a minute, I'm sure.
And as I was saying, Mrs. Dixon, in addition to making your linoleum last 6 to 10 times longer, Johnson's self-polishing glow coat saves you hours and hours of housework.
Wilcox. We certainly run into him everywhere, don't we?
That guy's as prevalent as an A card. Sometimes I want
Say, glow coat needs no rubbing or buffing, Mrs. Wilcox?
Nary a rub or a buff, Mrs. Dixon. Just spread it on and let it dry. And I showed you how it brings out the beauty and luster of your linoleum. Another thing, it makes spilled things so easy to wipe up. You know, there's an old saying among housewives that worn linoleum was once a hoodoo, but with glow coat, it lasts as long as you do.
Get a load of the old saying Waxy just made up.
Quiet, dear. He's putting on his hat.
Well, thank you very much for the demonstration, Mr. Wilcox. I'm certainly sold on Johnson's glow coat.
Well, everybody is who uses it, Mrs. Dixon. They say, well, hello, Molly. Hiya, pal.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hi, Waxy.
Well, I see you people know each other.
Sure.
Know each other? Why, we knew him when he was just a little moppet. Not knowing that when he grew up, moppet would be a fighting word.
I'm glad we ran into you, Mr. Wilcox. How about your Red Cross War Fund donation? I'm collecting in this district.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry, Molly. I sent mine in through the office this morning.
A likely story, Junior. We heard that gag 100 times today.
Well, I did. Look, here's my receipt.
That's all right, Mr. Wilcox. Doesn't matter who gets it as long as it was for the Red Cross.
Oh, that's what I thought. Well, good day, Mrs. Dixon. So long, pal.
Ta-ta, Junior. Wear your prettiest pajamas tonight. We'll see you in our dreams.
Well, keep your voice down, pal. I hear you in mine. So long, Molly.
I'm very sorry to have kept you waiting, Mrs. McGee. Here's my donation. I hope you don't mind taking cash.
Mind? Sis, no artist has yet caught the fragile beauty of the evening sun casting its rosy glow over a human lunch hook full of folding money.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Dixon. This is a very generous contribution.
Well, it's really more than I'd expected to give this year, Mrs. McGee. But my nephew was a prisoner of war at Manila. When he wrote about what the Red Cross does for our boys in prison camps in the way of food and medicine and communication, I just felt I had to.
Yes, I know, Mrs. Dixon. They're doing a wonderful job.
Now, one more thing, sis. Would you be interested in a low-freeze icebox with plastic sides that revolves so you don't have to take out all the milk to see if you still got bacon?
Well, that seems a very interesting...
In addition to which, besides, it has a built-in butter slicer.
No, I couldn't use one. I don't have any butter. Good day.
Oh, God.
The King's Men singing the Typewriter Serenade.
February 27, 1945. This old Underwood digs that jive. Oh, tap-a-tap-a-ting, tap-a-tap-a-ting, tap-a-tap-a-ting. It's singing, singing you the news in a little typewriter serenade. Every little tap means a little kiss, tap-a-tap-a-ting. It's ringing, ringing you my heart in a little typewriter serenade. And while I'm typing out this letter, I'd better enclose more kisses. Tap-a-tap-a-ting, tap-a-tap-a-ting, tap-a-tap-a-ting. It is ending, sending you my love in a little typewriter serenade, 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 serenade. Page 1 is through, and here's page 2. Just a line or two telling you what's new so you won't be blue, my darling. Sending you the news in a little typewriter serenade. I called upon the guns. Junior had them up. Gee, I'm in the dumps. I miss you. Thought I'd tell you so in a little typewriter serenade. And while I'm writing you this letter, I'd better get finished with it. So I'll say goodnight. Don't forget to write till I hold you tight. Real soon, dear. Here's all my love in a little typewriter serenade, 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 serenade. The typewriter serenade.
Well, I must say that was a very successful collection tour, McGee. People were certainly generous with us.
Personally, I'm awful glad to be home. That last 6 blocks, my feet were just walking from memory.
Well, I'm pretty tired myself. How about a nice cup of tea, dearie?
Ah, love it.
I'll have Beulah fix us up a snack.
Fine.
Oh, Beulah! Beulah!
Somebody ball for Beulah?
Hi, Beulah. Look, wrestle us up something to eat, will you? I'm tired and hungry.
Yes, sir, I'll get you up some stuff right away, sir. You sure look tired yourself, honey child.
Oh, I am, Beulah. And I've talked to so many people today, my throat feels like an abandoned gravel pit. Just make us some hot tea and sandwiches, will you, please?
I sure will, man. How you coming out with a collection? Did folks really take the loose brick out of the fireplace and dig out the door?
Ah, they were swell, Beulah. We got our quota.
Excuse me?
He said we got our quota, Beulah.
You mean, ma'am, you walk them pretty little legs off all day long and only come home with a quota?
Not quarter, Beulah, quota. It's a Latin word, meaning, boy, will we be surprised if we get this much.
Yes, our quota was 450, and we collected 595, Beulah. Isn't that grand?
It's over half a grand, anyway.
Oh, well. Yeah, we're going to Oh, you're never too tired to make a joke, is you, sir?
He's never too tired to make a tired joke, at least.
I'm so tired, that tired joke sounded like a retread even to me.
Oh, before I forget, ma'am, I want to give something to little old Red Cross myself. Just $5. Ain't much, but it represents several months of self-refusal in the candy department.
Well, thank you very much, Beulah. This makes our collection now an even $600.
As the horse say when he eats excelsior, that ain't hay, is it, ma'am?
You can say that again.
Thank you, sir. As the horse say when it eats...
No, Beulah, he means you're right.
Now, shake it up with that tea and sandwich thing, will you, Beulah? I'm as empty as a campaign promise.
Listen to the man. Oh, look at you. Love that tired man.
So we got $600, eh?
Yeah?
I'll bet that bet is in the bag. Wonder how much Gamble collected.
Well, I don't know, but I'll be surprised if it's this much.
Hey, incidentally, you know how many prospects I got for the Magnifico plastic icebox? 27.
Look, McGee, now that we're home, tell me more about this wonderful refrigerator.
Well?
Who makes them and when do you...
Come in.
Oh, hello, Doctor.
Hello, Molly. Well, how much do you collect?
Now, you tell us first, sharpshooter.
Why, you nasty, suspicious, evil-minded little goon. Do you think I'd stoop so low as to falsify my figures just to win a paltry $5 wager from you?
Come to think of it, no. In the first place, you haven't been able to stoop for 20 years. And in the second place, you couldn't falsify that figure of yours with 2 corsets and a diet of beef tea.
Well, there can't be any argument about the amounts anyway, Doctor. My collections are all listed, and I suppose yours are, too.
Correct. Here's my list.
And here's mine.
We got an even 600 smackers, smart boy. Top that.
I'll try. I have 598 on my list.
That's right, McGee. That's what he's got.
So we won by $2. I knew all the time...
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Have you got your donation on that list, Molly?
Why, certainly, Doctor.
Well, I'm sorry, my dear, but that goes on my list.
What?
Why? My district was number 42, and it begins with your house. See the list?
Well, heavenly days, so it does. Well, here's our donation, Doctor.
Well, of all the petty larceny, double-crossing, snide tricks I ever heard of...
And as for the $5 you now owe me, McGee, buy Molly a box of candy and a box of matches. After spending a day with you, she can use a little sweetness and light.
I never in all my life heard of such a low-down, ornery
And save your breath, Short Snort. There'll be an Elks picnic in June, and we'll need you to blow up the balloon. Good day.
What's so funny, McGee?
I knew all the time our house was on his list. And I was hoping he wouldn't notice it. Well, I gotta get to work. Where's my T-square and my triangle, Molly, and a ruler and a lot of paper and pencil?
What are you going to do now?
You know that Magnifico low-freeze icebox I took all yours for?
Yes?
Well, somebody's got to invent one. It won't just happen. Now, let me see. If I put the ice trays toward the bottom so they won't drip on the milk bottle.
Psychologists tell us that color is very important in our lives. If you surround yourself with bright, cheerful colors, you're apt to be bright and cheerful, too. You as a homemaker know this. It's one reason you like beautiful linoleum on your kitchen and other floors. It's one reason you keep your linoleum surfaces new-looking with Johnson's Glow Coat. Of course, you know that besides keeping the colors bright and sparkling, Glow Coat saves you many hours of work throughout the year. It's self-polishing, needs no rubbing or buffing. You simply apply Glow Coat, and it dries in 20 minutes to a beautiful polish. And you know also that Glow Coat protects the linoleum against wear, dirt, and moisture. In fact, regular care with Johnson's Glow Coat makes linoleum last much longer. But if it did nothing more than keep your floors bright and cheerful and shining, it would be well worth its small cost and little work.
Ladies and gentlemen, the collectors for the Red Cross War Fund will come to your house one of these days.
What?
So give generously to them.
If we give till it hurts over here, it will help a lot of the boys who are hurt over there.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson Wax Finishes for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This is the National Broadcasting Company. The Johnson Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax for Home and Industry present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. In some homes, light-painted woodwork presents a cleaning problem, especially if there are young children around. In other homes, and I hope yours is one of them, this problem has been nearly eliminated thanks to the newest form of Johnson's Wax, the cream wax. This unusual polish was created especially for furniture and woodwork, and it does a remarkable job. Johnson's cream wax cleans as it polishes, takes off dirt, fingerprints, and smudges like magic. With very little rubbing, it leaves a satiny wax finish that brings out the beauty of the surface as well as protecting it. It's a perfect wax polish for enameled kitchen equipment like refrigerators, stoves, and cabinets. Johnson's cream wax is a white liquid, very easy to use, contains no oil to collect dust. It gives furniture a hard, dry finish that makes cleaning and dusting so much easier. Try a bottle of Johnson's cream wax for your furniture and woodwork. The residents of 79 Wistful Vista feel very superior today. They have acquired the services of a cook, a laundress, a maid, and a housekeeper. That's a very large staff for such a small house. But Beulah, that's the cook, laundress, maid, and housekeeper, is a very large girl. Meet her proud employers, Fibber McGee and Molly.
What's Beulah doing now?
She's taking down the curtains in the front bedroom. She says whoever ironed them last must have done it with a steamroller.
Who did iron them last?
I did. But don't tell her that. Oh, she's a wonderful worker.
Yeah, she's a terrific cook, too, baby. She made a cheese omelet this noon that was so light I kept hitting my nose with it. What does she cook with, helium?
Well, we're lucky to have her one day a week, dearie. She's only working here on Tuesdays, you know.
Why just Tuesdays?
Well, that's the day we need her the most.
Yes, I guess that's right. Hey, we ought to plan on doing a lot of entertaining on Tuesdays, you know. Put on the dog a little.
Yes, as the hungry cannibal said, it's been a long time since we had anybody for dinner.
Look, why don't we ask Doc Gamble over for dinner? My gosh, he and Eleanor Roosevelt have less home life than anybody I know.
Better just ask Dr. Gamble. It's pretty short notice for Mrs. Roosevelt. Here, now, here's the phone.
Thanks. Hello, operator. Give me Dr. Gamble's office in the medical and then tell me that you, Mert. How's every little thing, Mert? It is, eh? What's a Mert? That pretty sister of yours? Contract with 20th Century, eh?
My goodness, 20th Century Fox as an actress?
No, 20th Century Limited as a break woman. What's a Mert? Okay, connect me.
Heavenly days. Mert gave him a number, and we got a cook all on the same day.
Hello, Doc. This is Fibber McGee, the personality kid. Yeah, look, I hate to butt in. I hate to butt in, Doc, while you're busy telling patients to quit smoking while waving a big cigar in their face. But can you come over to our house to dinner tonight? Wait a minute, I'll see. What are we going to have?
Meatloaf, scallop potatoes, spinach ring, lemon meringue pie.
Hello, Doc. Scallop, meat, loafing potatoes, lemon spinach. What kind of pie was that?
Tapioca pudding.
And tapioca pudding. Okay, Doc. Come about 6 o'clock and we can play a couple of games of chess. Huh? You don't? Well, neither do I, so we'll play rummy. Okay, Doc. He'll be here.
Well, I'm glad. You know, the only time the poor man sees a decent meal is when he looks through the advertisements in the magazines in his office.
Yeah.
And those were all from 1935, when you could use butter for cooking.
Yeah. This will probably be the first time he ever got a dinner invitation that wasn't a cover-up for somebody wanting him to take a free peek at Little Willie's Silly Acrobat.
His what?
Silly Acrobat. That's those bones where your hips join onto your watch pocket.
Nah, that isn't a Silly Acrobat. That's your Synchro Willie back.
That don't sound right. More something like Thank You Cadillac or Billy Cardiac or something.
Well, it isn't safe to throw medical terms around here. Not even sure what they mean.
Well, I guess not.
You know it's not.
Huh?
I remember once Mr. Toops told you he was anemic, and you said, okay, let's see you do Captain Hepburn.
Well, my gosh, that's no...
Oh, hello there, Alice.
Hello, Mrs. McGee. Jeepers, are you going to have that new cook all the time? She's wonderful.
No, we just get Beulah's on Tuesdays, Alice, but she sure can make those little vitamins turn a la cartwheels, can't she?
Oh, and she's so calm about it.
Yeah.
That's what I like. She never gets excited. By the way, Dr. Gamble is coming over for dinner tonight, Alice. Can you join us?
Oh, no, thank you, Mrs. McGee. You're awfully sweet to invite me, but I have a dinner date with Mitch Woodbury.
Who's Mitch Woodbury?
He's the middle fellow in the back seat.
In the back seat of what?
Our carpool. We've been nodding to each other in the rearview mirror for simply months, and yesterday somebody introduced us.
It's time for Fibber, McGee, and Molly. Sundays through Thursdays, NBC brings you Fibber, McGee, and Molly transcribed. The show is written by Phil Leslie and Ralph Goodman and directed by Max Hutto. Listen to the McGees talking about another of your wistful Vista friends.
Uh-oh. There goes Doc Gamble again. Out to get his foot in the door before the stork arrives.
Seems to me that old bird's been keeping him pretty busy lately.
Sure has, Molly. And he's not the only one that bird's been keeping busy.
You mean Dr. Gamble's got competition?
No, it's just that new babies keep prudential agents busy, too. People don't...
Did you say prudential agents?
Sure, agents of the Prudential Insurance Company.
Of America?
You said it. People don't realize it, but such things as a new baby, a new or a bigger house, or a better job, all tend to affect the protection your life insurance was designed to give. That's why it's a swell idea to have your Prudential man check over your life insurance setup with you every so often, just to make sure it's up to date with any changes in your home.
Well, what if it isn't here?
In that case, your Prudential agent will be glad to show you how you can adjust your family protection program so that it does the job you want it to do. Make a date with your Prudential agent tomorrow. I know it's one date you'll never regret keeping.
In the Chamber of Commerce contest for the best slogan on traffic safety, Mr. McGee of 79 Wistful Vista was judged the winner. And he's to go downtown today and pick up his $25 prize. It was rather interesting how he happened to win. And Mrs. McGee is telling a friend about it on the phone right now.
Yes, Mabel. McGee won the contest all right, but the whole thing was a mistake. Yeah, don't let McGee know I told you, but the winning slogan, you know, don't forget politeness pays every time. That wasn't his slogan. No, it wasn't mine. It wasn't anybody's. No, you see, I had scribbled a note to myself to pay all the back light bills. They were a mess. And by mistake, I turned that note in instead of McGee's slogan. Yes. It said, don't forget the light mess, pay every dime. How they ever got don't forget politeness pays every time, I don't know. McGee's embarrassed to death about it, Mabel, but always...
What I done, old-timer? I sat down and worked my slogan out scientific, see?
Scientific, huh?
Yeah. I said to myself, traffic is a mess. People are getting hurt. Everybody drives fast. So what can we do to cure this situation in one swell whoop?
And the answer come ringing out loud and clear. Shoot the drivers and burn all the automobiles, huh? That's for me, Johnny. Let's start all over. Just you and me, and that way...
No. Now, that ain't what I...
Let's shoot you two and just start with me, because I need a lot of room when I drive, and if
no. Pipe down, will you? My gosh, that ain't what I mean at all. The answer to this traffic problem is very simple. And you're going to see it on every windshield sticker in town. Politeness.
Politeness?
Yeah. My slogan is, don't forget, politeness pays every time.
Hey, that's an amazing idea, Johnny.
Thank you.
Politeness when you're driving, huh? By jeepers, that's one I never tried before. Might work, too.
You betcha it'll work.
Yes, sir, that's a brand new idea, Johnny. I'll try to remember that one. Oh, hi, daughter. I was just talking to Johnny here about his traffic slogan.
Isn't that a good one, though? Don't forget, politeness pays every time.
Every time?
Betcha. And I'm going to drive by that slogan all the time. From now on, boy, just call me Mr. Politeness.
I'm glad you said that, Mr. Politeness, because I brung your grocery bill, $17.80. So if you and Ms. Politeness would like to pay up, Mr. Politeness, I'll take the money.
Well, we're a little short right now, old-timer. Catch us later. We're going downtown right away to pick up my $25 prize check, so if you'll drop around after we get...
Oh, I knew it. It's just like all them slogans. They never work.
Huh?
Call me Mr. Politeness. Politeness pays every time, he says. I've been here 3 times this week, ain't been paid yet, so I know this will work.
I hope he isn't angry because I have enough money upstairs to pay the bills.
There's no use rushing it, kiddo. He'll be back later. Let's get going downtown. Chamber of Commerce has got a check for me, and I ain't the type of guy that likes to keep people if they want to give me money with. Oh.
You get the door. I'll go back the car out. Tell whoever it is we're just leaving, will you?
Right. I won't dilly-dally. You better back the car out and blow the horn for me in case I get stuck with whoever this is.
Greetings, Sonny.
Oh, hi, Docky. I'd ask you in, but we're just leaving to go downtown and pick up the $25 prize money for that slogan I wrote.
You wrote? Don't kid me, mushhead. You seem to have forgotten I was here yesterday when the lights went out and Molly explained how she happened.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you know all about it.
Sure. I won't spread it all around the Elks Club, though. I'll keep mum.
Oh, gee, thanks, Doc. Them guys are...
Because I think it's a pretty good slogan, and I don't want to knock it. Actually, though, I think the one Les Nelson turned in should have won the prize. You heard it. Keep traffic moving at any cost. He who hesitates is lost.
Oh, now that's
for the road hogs and drivers who ought to be in the right lane instead of tying up traffic.
Oh, yeah. Well, drop around later, and I'll talk to you about anything you want. Since you kind of got something on me, and I have to be polite to you for a few days.
Hey,
but right now...
that's right.
Huh?
This secret I'm keeping for you has possibilities.
Well, that's Molly, Doc. I got it.
Yeah. I ought to get my snow shoveled all winter.
Oh, now, Doc...
Or that nice big waiting room of mine could use a coat of paint. Or maybe I ought to have the ashes cleaned out of my basement.
Okay, Molly, I'm coming.
Yeah, you run along, little pigeon. I don't like to make snap decisions. This should have careful thought.
Huh?
After all, if I'm going to lose sleep because I've got a secret I can't tell anybody,
There's more fun with the McGee's shortly. Have you discovered Dial Shampoo? It's the new shampoo that does something exciting to your hair. Listen.
Sparkle, sparkle, your hair too. Sparkles after Dial Shampoo. Dial Shampoo gets your hair clean. Dial Shampoo gets your hair seen. Diamond sparkle, that's for you when you use Dial Shampoo.
Yes, your hair will have that diamond sparkle look the very first time you use Dial Shampoo. This new shampoo is specially made to give your hair a priceless sheen, an extra brightness. With Dial Shampoo, you get loads of lanolated lather. It's a creamy, rich lather, gentle but firm, and it leaves your hair soft and easy to manage. Buy Dial Shampoo in the unbreakable sweet bottle.
Diamond sparkle, that's for you when you use Dial Shampoo. Dial Shampoo.
Then he threatened me. That as long as he has to be up nights with a secret that he can't tell anyone, he thinks it's only fair that I paint his office.
Oh, Dr. Gamble was just teasing, dearie.
That blackmailer. That overweight Willie Sutton. Wait till I get out of the way, you moron.
Now, McGee, you're getting all upset and forgetting your own slogan. Politeness pays.
I'm sorry, sir.
You ran up on the sidewalk that day.
That jealous old liver lifter's got me all upset.
Jealous?
Yeah, because he was too dumb to enter the contest, and I was smart enough to win it with that clever slogan. That lucky note you put in the entry envelope by mistake, I mean.
I'll never get over that. It was the silliest thing.
You know what he had the trust to tell me was the slogan that ought to won? The slogan that Les Nelson made up. Keep traffic moving at any cost. He who hesitates is lost.
Oh, was that Lester?
Yeah, I don't think he made that up alone. I think Mortimer Snurd must have helped him make that one up.
Oh, that isn't a nice
Can
thing.
you imagine anything as corny as that? My gosh, if I could have taken up a better one than that, Oh, hey, you there, kiddo. They're out already.
Who's out?
The stickers are out. Look, with our slogan on it. You see that car up ahead? On the windshield.
Oh, sure. Oh, there's another one. Don't forget, politeness pays every time.
Yeah, on 2 cars already, but I just...
Oh, and look at that. They both came to the intersection, and each one is waving the other one on. Isn't that nice?
All right, fellas. That's the way. Politeness pays.
No, the traffic's too heavy. Oh, goodness, Jerry, I'm proud of us. If that slogan works at a busy intersection like 14th and Oak, it'll work anywhere.
Yes, sir, we really hit it this time. I'd better step on it, I guess. Don't want to keep the Chamber of Commerce waiting with that happy $25.
There's the office right down the hall.
Yep, prize money, here we come.
Well, good afternoon, folks. The Chamber of Commerce welcomes you to the fair city of Wistful Vista. Here are some booklets on our wonderful city, a few street maps, and a list of 830 exciting places to go and things to do.
Thank you, sir, but we live here.
Oh, sure is dull around here, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I find every day exciting.
And especially today, Bud, because we're here on pleasant business. Where's Horseface Holstein, the president of this Chamber of Horrors?
Oh, Mr. Holston's in a meeting, sir, upstairs. The Traffic Safety Committee. They've been very busy.
I know all about it. And if you'd have been coming in on time in the mornings, you'd know that I was the guy that just won that slogan contest you ran. That's why I'm here.
To collect the prize money.
Oh, then you must be Mr. McGee. Oh, this is a pleasure, sir. I have the envelope with your prize money in it right here.
Good.
Yeah, let's have it. If you want to take some pictures for the papers, I'll be happy.
That was a wonderful slogan you thought of, Mr. McGee. Don't forget, politeness pays every time.
Well, I gave it a lot of thought, and I figured...
Oh, will you excuse me a moment? Yeah, hello? Oh, yes, Mr. Holstein. Mr. McGee is here right now.
I don't want to talk to him. Just give us the money.
What? Oh, they were. You did? Okay, I'll tell him. Goodbye.
What the heck was that all about? What is and who or what?
Yes. What did Mr. Holstein did?
Well, the word just came in that there's a heck of a traffic jam at 14th and Oak. Huh? 2 guys with politeness pays stickers are blocking the intersection, each insisting the other one go first.
Oh, no.
Yes. That's what the meeting was called for. And the committee has just made a new decision.
A new decision?
Yes, to throw out your slogan, Mr. McGee.
What?
They just picked another one instead. One that should straighten things out and which I think is a perfect choice. It goes, keep traffic moving at any cost. He who hesitates is lost.
Why, of all the dirty double-dealing contests, this is the
You don't know who submitted that one, do you? Oh, I'll have to ask Mr. Holstein for the winner's name to mail this money.
Come on, McGee, let's go home.
We'll say goodnight to Fibber and Molly in a moment. Hi, folks. This is Vaughn Monroe for RCA. Did you know that the United States has more television sets than all the other countries in the world combined? Sets of all sizes, all shapes, all makes. And did you know that RCA makes a picture tube for virtually every one of them? Yes, for just about every brand and every model, including yours. That's right, Vaughn. And one of these days, the picture tube in your set will fade. When it does, ask your local TV serviceman for a new RCA picture tube. RCA picture tubes are sharper and brighter. They give you clearer pictures. RCA picture tubes are economical. They last longer because RCA controls quality scientifically during each manufacturing step. So when your television set needs a new picture tube or receiving tube, tell your serviceman you want the best tube for your money. Ask for RCA. It's precision made, yet it costs no more. And remember, there are more RCA picture tubes now in use than any other make.
Too bad about that contest backfiring like that, McGee. You should have had it, sweetheart.
Oh, I don't mind. As a matter of fact, I couldn't be happier.
What do you mean?
Well, you know what Doc Gamble decided I'd have to do for him to keep it secret how I happened to win that contest? Said I'd have to come to his office every night for a week and swear.
Swear?
That I haven't told a lie all day. Not even a white lie. Oh, boy, what a spot I'd have been in if I'd have had to do a thing.
Oh, wouldn't we all?
Oh, good night.
Good night, all.
Fibber, McGee, and Molly is an NBC Radio Network production transcribed. With Bill Thompson as the old-timer, Arthur Q. Bryan as Dr. Gamble, and Parley Bear as the man in the Chamber of Commerce. Well, Sunday, like many of the rest of us, the McGees try to select their Christmas cards. And just like you and me, they have a little difficulty deciding. This is John Wald reminding you to tune in Sunday night to hear it. Join the great Gildersleeve and all his friends tonight on the NBC Radio Network.
From the Pacific Theater on Navy Pier in Chicago, scene of the spectacular United States Navy exhibit on behalf of the 6th War Loan, we bring you the Johnson Wax program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax for home and industry present Fibber, McGee, and Molly, written by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie, with music by the Kingsmen and Billy Mills Orchestra. If you have linoleum floors any place in your home, I think you should know that linoleum manufacturers themselves strongly recommend the Glow Coat type of polish for their care and protection. They know from long experience that continual scrubbing is very bad for linoleum surfaces, that the best protection is the kind you can renew with regular application. Now, naturally, floors in your kitchen, bathroom, and entrance halls, where linoleum is an ideal floor covering, get hard wear. They need to be wiped up frequently, and they get tracked up with wet, muddy feet. When they're protected with Johnson's self-polishing Glow Coat, they're guarded against wear, scratches, and dampness by the tough film of Glow Coat. They last 6 to 10 times longer with regular Glow Coat care. In the meantime, your floors are attractive and beautiful, and you save yourself many hours of work because Glow Coat is so remarkably easy to use. Needs no rubbing or buffing, dries in 20 minutes to a lovely shine. When you see a respectable, sedate citizen of quiet, wistful Vista running like mad up the street, you can make up your mind he's forgotten something, remembered something, or he's Fibber McGee. Now, Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. What a break, what a break. Oh, boy, this is wonderful. Greatest thing that's happened to me since my geometry teacher broke her leg. If I can only get... Hey, Molly, where are you?